guys. Welcome to Breeder Syndicate 3.0, the next evolution of the look into counterculture that is canon. My name is Matthew, owner of Riot Seeds, and this started as a one-man mission for strain history and breeding science. Over time, it's evolved into something bigger, better, and more of a team effort. We will be joined by members of the Can Illuminati and other friends throughout the seasons to hear their takes on grow techniques, breeding science, strain history, and more. Our mission is to combat the narrative that corporate cannabis and seed posers are obfuscating for their own financial benefit. Welcome to the underground. We are the Syndicate.
The videos on this channel, the Breeder Syndicate 3.0, are compliant with YouTube policies and does not depict or promote any sales or distribution of any substances. These videos do not violate any YouTube community guidelines and is intended to educate the public about historical and scientific aspects of hemp plants. This video does not promote, idolize, nor glorify any illegal activities or unsafe consumption of regulated substances. We are not doctors or lawyers. This should be super obvious. With that said, some people need to be reminded about this. Do not take anything we say as medical or legal advice of any sort. We are just the best at what we do. Live with it. All content is copyright of the Breeder Syndicate 3.0, 2024, Section 107 of the Fair Use Act. Thank you for your support.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Breeder Syndicate Gone Wild Sunday night. We're making up for Friday with me and Chuck.
I was thinking about before we started in the shower, we could call it Chucked and Screwed.
Oh, fuck.
We should have.
Damn it.
We should have, dude. What's up, man? What's up, chat? I can't see the chat for some reason right now. I hope we're live. Let us. Oh, wait. Here we go.
We are.
Sorry. I'm on the phone. Let's see.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. I think I can see it here. Comments. There we go. We can see it. We're live. What's up, guys? What's up, gals? If you're a girl, if you got something other than a, well, we can't cuss. I'm trying not to
got
cuss.
things or no things, whatever.
Yeah, if you got that thing between your legs, one of the few many options out there. What's up, guys? we were talking about something right before we started, dude. But I wanted to get into some other stuff first, so save that thought, okay? But anyways, we're filling in for Matt. Matt's been a little sick. You know, I don't want to air his business out there too much, but he's been like legitimately sick in the hospital and stuff like that. So we're kind of filling in for him. We were gonna fill in Friday, but I had to go. I had to go do some stuff in real life, and then I did some edible binging. I'm doing edible binging right now, so I apologize preemptively if I say some fucked up shit. I don't mean it, okay? I think we can cuss now. It's been 10 seconds. I just cussed. Fuck. Anyways, what's been up, Screwston? Before we get to the meat and potatoes of this video, what have you been up to, dude? We haven't got to talk forever, I feel like.
Dude, not much. He came back from the party in Montana. Or, you know, what could be very accurately characterized as Denali's fishing trip that we all just kind of tagged along with.
They're fun. Those are fun trips. That, I mean,
dude, it was a blast.
I've never, man, you know, sometimes you go and do things and like trips in life and it's like a gauntlet, dude. And you look back and you're like, how did I make it through? And man, I do a lot of like hard work, labor and stuff, man. And I tell you, dude, fishing on those bass boats on those lakes up there for like 2 days straight when you're not used to it. Cause just like the movements and stuff, like I'm not used to standing on a boat for starters. So that and getting up at 6 a.m. after partying and smoking, you know, a lot of good herb with these guys, staying up late at night. We'll get like 3 hours of sleep and then we go fish for like 8 hours straight, no breaks, you know, on these giant lakes. And it's like the ocean one day, you know, because it's storming basically. And dude, like the endurance if I would have known like what I was in for, I hadn't really been on a bass boat on a big lake like that before. So like just standing there, bro, like holding yourself up all day while you're rocking. It took a lot out of me, man. You get back to the shore, you got the sea legs, dude. Can't walk, and that was. But my point about it was really hard, dude. Like just keeping up with the guys and rocking out that because I'm not used to it. But it was some of the most fun I ever had, bro. And I look back on those times and. Especially with Earn, it's pouring down rain on us the second day, and we're going like 60 miles an hour in this lake, dude, on this fucking, $100,000 bass boat, and just under a poncho, we're sharing a poncho together, and just catching fish, dude, and just having fun, man. Those fishing trips are amazing when you can combine weed and fishing trips, dude, together. I mean, not fishing ain't for everybody. I get it. My wife, she's not really into fishing.
Oh, dude, I didn't fish at all. The whole trip. I didn't fish once. Yeah. I did almost get taken away by the river when I was. Ern was like, "Yeah, we like just went in to like get in it." That motherfucker was moving so goddamn fast.
Yeah.
That once I first off, we had to like walk sideways to get out there. And then he's like, all right, sit on this rock. Like he's trying to tell me how to fucking do this because like they're used to fly fishing and like wading out there and shit.
Yeah.
The second my shorts got underwater, they fucking inflated like a parachute and that shit was taking me.
Yeah. Is it deep? Was it deep or is it like just a foot?
Where we were at, no, it wasn't deep where we were at. But like there was different like depths and stuff. But dude, it was going super fast and it was crazy fucking cold. And like the boats were weird. They were like U-shaped almost with flat bottoms. Like they called them like drift boats or something. And it's because of like, the river or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, dude, it fucking started hailing when it was like high 70s out. We're just fucking sitting there and it starts fucking hailing. And we're like, dude, what the fuck is up with this place? It was crazy.
That whole area. I haven't really been to Montana, but I've been to Wyoming and South Dakota and a couple places out there in Colorado. And dude, some of those places out there, it's just so vast and open, and especially Wyoming, dude. It was wild, dude. Something I like about some of the rivers out there, they are kind of like. Some of them are faster moving, but they're like more shallow and just different than out here. Like, where I'm at, you get like mud rivers, basically. You don't really want to, we swim in them, but you don't really want to be swimming in them.
That's how it is out here. They're just like creeks more. So it'd be a better even the real rivers are like, we go in it, but like.
Yeah. They hit somewhere for me. I don't know if it's from growing up watching like Westerns and stuff, but it does give them that vibe when you look at them, you kind of look at them and you're like, man, this is kind of, especially when I went to Grand Palisades and a few other places out there, dude. I was fucked up that whole trip, so it's hard for me to remember everywhere we went. But yeah, dude, I loved it out that way. I like to go to Montana. It sucks I missed that trip, dude, but life throws you curveballs. I wasn't planning on having a kid like a year ago either, so it's part of it, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, dude, I rode a horse. We rode horses.
Yeah.
Like in this fucking like up this mountain and shit. Yeah. It was dope.
Did you smoke any good herb?
Oh yeah. This time no one got their weed out there. We were all smoking truckers, and my God, he is just a killer grower, like Jesus.
Yeah, he's cool, dude. That's somebody I'd like to meet. There's a couple other guys that are really cool. What all did you get to try while you were out there to smoke?
Oh man, so some of the Zombie Maker stuff, that Crank Diesel I really liked. The OGs by Zombie Maker were the number 2. One of the ones that he had. Oh man, it was just. Killer. He grows such good fucking like OG. It just comes out so amazing. And I liked this. It was PK3. I don't know. It was this like purple thing that was super soapy, like in a way that like usually I don't like, but it hit right with it,
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, dude, that's probably the most fun is to try other people's buds, uh, and just kind of like opening up your mind to a different way of doing stuff. Because, like, you put so much work into your gardens, or your tents or whatever, and like, like to be able to like almost get that capture that little window into somebody else's world for even if it's just like a couple of days fishing or whatever it is. Yeah, maybe I don't have the luxury of knowing people like close to me like that. So it's not like I can just ride over and be like, yo, dude, check out these buds, or like it is out west in some of the cooler states out there, But I do like getting together on the meetups and sharing like the buds. That's so fucking cool, dude. I always feel like for me though, every time I meet up, it's like the worst time ever. It's like I always like after I smoke like
Oh, it's
everything.
about 10 days dry,
Yeah, yeah. It always. So like, yeah. I told myself I made a promise to myself this next time I'm going to make sure, dude. And by God, I made sure, dude. This time I'm ready. This time, let's just put it that way. I wish I could tell you guys more. But anyways, yeah. So you went out to Montana. You got to try some good buds. You didn't really fish, but the other guys fished, right? Denali fish.
Oh,
Did he catch
dude.
anything?
Denali literally fucking fished the whole time. Like, so dude, like I was getting up at 6 in the morning and shit and like hanging out on the patio and whatnot, like in the
Yeah.
morning. And literally the first time I would see Denali every morning was him walking out to grab his fucking fishing pole and his shit and walk down to the river. And then they went on the fucking drift boat for like 5 or 6 hours.
Oh yeah.
Came back and he walked straight to his fucking fishing pole and back out into the river to go fish again. Like it was crazy.
He's a madman, and I don't know. I didn't really ask him about how or why he does it, but dude, in those moments, yeah, he can go just as hard as a young guy or young gal, whatever you want to say, and stick up there with the best of us. I mean, he was out there on a boat just as long as all of us, for those 8 hours. So he's a cock strong, if you will. But yeah, it amazes me. He gets in that zone, and especially when it comes to fishing, man, he's just he's on it, man. I love watching him do that stuff. It's fun. I didn't get the luxury of fishing with him last time on the same boat. Next time I will, but yeah, dude, it's awesome to watch, dude. To see like 125-year-old man out there just rocking out, dude.
He's gonna beat you up next time he sees
I don't know. That's I always remember this moment. I think it was whatever the second day we were there. We went to sleep and we woke up, and I woke up. I walked outside and I go and check the grills, dude. And they somebody had left the grills. There was like 4 grills at this place they rented or whatever, and they left all the gas grills running all night, dude. And I guess it's hooked up to like a gas line. And I'm sitting there like, damn, dude, we almost burned down. Some people might have heard this story already. But I was like, damn, we could have burnt this whole place down. And I look over, the sun just come up, and then Ollie had slept outside, dude. And it's like, yeah, it's barely dark, so it's not like fully dark, light out. And I look over, and he just gets up. I don't even think he knows I'm there, and he just goes and walks over to the dock, dude, and just pulls his dong out and just starts pissing into the water, dude. And it's just like the audibles is dead silent, right? And it's just like. It sounds like a fire hose being dumped into that lake. No, sorry to switch subjects real quick, but I haven't been to that nuclear power plant lake, Kyle. I think it was at Ask. I can't remember it. My bad. I'm off the edibles, bro. Sorry missing some of the comments. Is the Canon Illuminati? I think that's Matt in it. Hey, what's up, Matt? What's up, Pinzer? Everybody, thanks for tuning in. I'm sorry that we're not paying attention to the chat as well. But me and you get 2 country guys talking, next thing you know, we're down a rabbit hole. But I appreciate all you guys tuning in, supporting the channel. Well, I think we're live on YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, maybe. I don't know. I appreciate it, guys. But yeah, man.
Yeah, like and subscribe, or
Yeah.
you can be mean in the comment section. It's whatever.
Yeah. Tell me I have a small cock, because it's true. No. No. Yeah. Support Farmer Freeman. We can't read the ads to you, but if we could, we would. But no. Yeah,
Use
dude.
Syndicate Vibe for a 5% discount for listeners and
There you
viewers.
go.
And then if you are in the Discord, which you can get to through the link provided in the description, you get 10% discount, and there is the code is in the server. So hopefully we'll see you boys there.
Hell yeah. Join the Discord, guys. It's great vibes in there. Just watch your buttholes. Guard them. If you're a guy, mainly. Whatever. You know what I'm trying to say without saying it. Anyways, dude. So Montana trip was sick, dude. Okay. Where are we at here?
I came
Go
away
ahead.
with seeds too from like some of my
Ooh.
fucking favorite stuff that I smoked. So I was pretty
That's
excited about that.
awesome.
Oh, dude, I got to check out some fucking Super Skunk S1.
Ooh.
Wow. I definitely see, like, immediately smelling it. It was like, oh, I see why, the idea is that there's like Super Skunk in OG. Because it was very much like there was a very, I guess noticeable like smell in the profile that was like pinpoint. Oh, okay, this is a piece of OG. It smells like, and that was pretty fucking cool to check out.
That is cool. That is awesome. When I left that lake trip, man, I there was so many seeds left on the table from H&L, dude. No one took them, and not only did a bunch of groceries and shit, dude. Like, I literally got like 4 boxes of bacon, but I got probably, I don't know, like 20 packs of H&L seeds. Nobody wanted, like, people got a bunch of seeds, but like there was just so many that, there was a bunch left. So I was like, D, do you want any of these? And he took a few, and he's like, you just take the rest home, because I was just a couple hours away. So yeah, dude, that's awesome, man. I was gonna say, dude, speaking of which, obviously, like, I don't know the background much on this cut, but that one I've been telling you about, dude, it blows my mind, because I can see, we were just talking about that skunk S1, I think it was, seeing like a piece of it. This cut I got from Michigan, it's just some bullshit rec cut, but it's labeled as like Afghani skunk or something. I don't know. Supposedly it's a Sam Skunk Man or whatever cut, shit goes. Anyway, regardless of that bullshit, it looks a lot, the way it grows a lot like the D, more like a bush. But what really blew my mind, dude, is the buds were like ugly as fuck. But the smell, dude, it smelled just like Shoreline so much, dude. It's faded a bit. It's got more of a basement smell now. But when I first took it, dude, it smelled so much like Shoreline. It blew my mind, and I really enjoyed it, dude. It was skunky, dude, but like it was more. It had like that slight like kind of, I wouldn't say berry, bro. It's not like, oh my god, it smells like berries, but it's like kind of like that tinge of berry or fruitness to it, but not that. But now it's more like a basement smell. But it did have that Shoreline smell too, where to me, like, for when I grow Shoreline, it kind of almost smells like new sneaker, like rubber smell with like a little bit of like, I wouldn't say like lemons or nothing like that, but some kind of like tinge of that, just a slight bit of that to me, for me. So I don't know, man. Maybe you say it's a little bit different, maybe, but I think for
No, I
sure.
mean, I would say that I've definitely gotten those. Because like I feel like it's just like a bunch of layers of different smells on each other,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
that's why it's very almost confusing to describe, because it's kind of personal, not just to how it was grown or whatever, like as to what kind of comes out more, but also to like the person, you actually smelling it.
Yeah.
Because when some of the last shore that I had gotten back in the day before getting it, before like actually um, seeing it again, which was, like 7 or 8 years, something like that. Like it was quite a bit in between. I had turned in, like it was like a QP into BHO because that was the thing at the time. And it smelled. It was just like the fucking like rubber smell. There wasn't that characteristic like shore smell.
Yeah.
So
I didn't, go
yeah,
ahead.
I can see that for sure as like being part of like the layers of the onion that make the whole smell when you're smelling it.
Yeah. It's crazy how different stuff comes out, the same cuts. And like it's not even like some random dude on the forums or YouTube comments. It's like you got the same cut from the same guy or whatever. And it's crazy how they can come out different like that, based on your style or like even like the variegation or the variegated patterns and stuff like that. They're different between grows and stuff, It's kind of crazy, and seeing smoking that. I think it was a sweet pea, local sweet pea, which is like the stuff from the bitters P91, which is from that. I don't know. It's such a lot. It's getting crazy, guys. I can't keep up with everybody's stuff. But
Hold on. It is S1s of the P91 that Matt made.
yeah,
That bitter popped and selected two of them and reversed one onto the other.
And then local
made a selection
out
of
of
the
that.
sweet pea from that.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, yeah. So
He
my
used
bad.
that too.
I'm fucking. I got so many cookies, you guys. You're not even going to believe it. This thing. Imagine right was like kind of full. My bad. We're jumping off topics here, but we're down to like the slim pickings. But we've been down in gas. I'm sorry, I can't keep track. Kyle in the comments said what was it? I forget what you said. The alien vision. He's been telling me on Instagram. He's been sending me messages saying he's got something that's super insanely skunky, kind of foxtail skunky blood. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, man. I would like to find something really just skunky, just rubber skunk, dude. I mean, lately, dude, I've been doing a lot of Gorilla Glue, dude. I've been really liking that. I got some Kim D right here, actually. Been smoking on it too. Kim D's kind of hit or miss for me sometimes. Like I feel like this was a good run for it, a really good run, but I don't know. I'm a G.
The mark.
Huh? Well, it's not
You-
even that. I don't think Kim D will ever really like hit the mark for me, like truly, like really when it comes down to it. Because I think like for me, at least in my setup right now, the way it grows, a few other things, I guess, like yeah, I mean the way it grows, it's not like the most greatest fun thing to trim in the world. Um, you know, um, and some runs it just doesn't perform as well, even though I grow it the same way, or I feel like I did it better. I think ultimately, if I was going to run it some more, I think I'd probably switch over to cocoa, uh, and go from there. I think really, like, if I'm being honest, like all jokes aside, I think I'm just a GMO hoe. Like, I don't know, like for me, like I didn't come up in the '90s, having access to all these really cool old school cuts and stuff. So I only got like a really small window into stuff. So for me, like, I mean, obviously, like I like Kim D. I think I know it's gonna sound crazy to you, maybe, but I actually like the '91 a little bit better just for the effects, like, and the way it grows too. I like a little bit more lanky and stretches more, and the effects for like when you're talking about effects, at least I like the '91 more, just because it's the only bud that I can like consistently smoke, and it just makes me so sleepy, and I love that, dude. Like that stony high of like trying to fight sleep, or if I can't sleep very good. I'm a very light sleeper, so having that 91 as a tool, and I guess I don't like saying medicinal, but in a way, I guess right, to help me sleep and shit like that. But I'll be honest, like anymore, like just the Gorilla Glue, the like the 91, the D, then GMO, and then like obviously like the P work or P91 stuff, and I mean Bubba, and there's a few other things I think that fill that gap for me, but yeah, man, that's kind of like anymore. I'll be honest, like I've just been smoking a lot of the. I've smoked a lot of the Kim D. I did like get super paranoid off the Kim D a couple nights ago, dude. And in the morning too. The next morning, I was smoking a bunch of Kim D, and it made me super paranoid. Like, oh man, like something's gonna come get me, dude.
See that I like D because not only do I feel like it has a much more, like, don't get me wrong, I also like 91, but and I understand the whole like liking growing it because like growing it is a lot better, like
yeah.
but like, man, as far as like the profile, there's just so much more going on for me with D, and the effects. Like it really dumbs me down, and I feel palpably dumber, just like after like two bong rips, and I'm like, oh shit, like.
That is true. I would say that too because I keep getting tongued. And it gets me like, that brain fog of like can't finish my thoughts or sentences, or like you lost for word. You're in the middle of a conversation, you go blank for sure. Yeah,
Well,
I like
also, we lead a different kind of lifestyle. Like I'm not going to the office or having to, like be working around heavy machinery unless I choose to, so I don't have to be, doing math a bunch and stuff like that, stuff that you might not want to be smoking D before fucking do it, like my friend works in a lab, and like I get why he doesn't want to smoke any fucking D before, like he literally can't and go to work. Because he will fuck up. Like
that's true. We're spoiled and smoke. I got his blaze all day. I'm a bum, dude. So like I get it. Like maybe, I haven't. I need to go hang out with some normal people that don't really smoke that much, and then like take some of this stuff to them and see how they react. Because I for sure when I was hanging out with Ern in Virginia, dude, they at this little get together. I was rolling Kim Dog blunts and sour or Shoreline, and I think it maybe even Sean's original cut, and that was a blur, dude. I barely remember any of that stuff. We were just like blazing. It was so hot too, dude. Like one of those days, But I was just rolling Kim Dog blunt after Kim Dog blunt, and like just passing it to these guys, and there was like probably 15 people there, right? Yeah, like chicks and dudes, and they were all like really baked, dude. We're like hanging out on this porch.
Fucking quiet and fucking
yeah.
Dude, I love party ruining weed,
No, dude. I'm just over here having a blast, because I'm used to this.
I want to fucking walk into a room and drop a hand grenade and fucking walk out, where everyone's fucking mute after that and just like looking at each other and their phones. Fucking not even able to function.
Yeah, maybe I'm spoiled. Maybe I should. Not everybody like that. Last time I met up with Local on them, he gave me that whole jar, big jar of the sweet piece. Like I just blazed that for like, 3 or 4 days, and it's probably like a zip or whatever. And dude, I maybe I'm just spoiled and don't think about it like that. But yeah, I need to go hang out with some people and see what they think of it, dude, for sure. But yeah, I did another. What was the other one? Dirty Taxi or whatever. I did run that one just to see what the hoopla is all about. It's funky, but it's like I don't know. I kind of just want to grow GMO. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like that with a lot of
fucking telling me this for the past like 8 weeks.
I know. I've been
Just how
loving.
much you love GMO.
I really do. It just like it's not the best, right? Maybe, but for me and what I my needs and my setup and yeah, just the smoothness of it all. Like you know, right now I'm really busy and stuff, or more busy, so it's hard to be super invested in your garden, right? So like for right now, I just some stuff that performs for me. I think is like kind of on the menu, I guess. So like yeah, just sticking to maybe like the GMO a little bit longer of a flower, but I think it's kind of worth it, dude, because it's kind of gives
Oh,
me
dude,
that.
I don't even care about flowering time, really.
Yeah, I
You
don't
know, like
either.
other than for planning, it's like I want to know ranges
Yeah,
and stuff like that, like just so I could plan accordingly. But
yeah,
I mean, fuck, I still have that 16-week long fucking fire line. I don't give a shit.
yeah,
Like I am momming it up right now to fucking rock out a monocrop of it because it's dope.
yeah,
Like yeah, it's gonna take a long fucking time, but like I'm all right with that.
yeah,
It is, like
yeah.
it's worth it to me. It's gonna be I mean, it's crazy. It's so outside of the norm. I mean, dude, it gets me fucking hard as a rock. It's like it's so killer
I
and different, you know?
I really been liking this Gorilla Glue cut I got. I don't know if it's the number four. How would I know that? I don't really know. Denali even liked it a lot when he smoked it. Anyways, it's I love it, dude, because I had like a really bad run just because my HVAC and stuff went out, and you know how it goes. You're in the middle of middle of it,
At the
and
most crucial time is when it's gotta happen.
power goes out, storm hits, floods hit, you know, whatever. So yeah, dude, that wasn't the best situation, let's just say. And even in that, dude, just they just performed. I had two of those plans and they just turned it, it just performed, dude. I don't know how else to say it more than that. Like all around, like weight and even in those conditions it still did really well. I'm not a weight guy, but like, you know, I don't have the biggest grow or nothing in the world, and especially nowadays. So I gotta really be more cautious about not cautious, but more yeah, plan a little bit more because I didn't plan before. So now I am planning a little bit more just because yeah, to keep myself smoking. And so, you know, unfortunately, like yeah, like I like effects, and I obviously have a couple tints rolling, so I can do different things. But like in my main flower space, I'm mainly just putting things in there that are gonna like give me some yield of smoke on it. Cause like yeah, like I don't I really have access to that anymore. I can't really just go down the street and get bud or whatever. Like it's not like that for me. So it's really up to me to keep myself smoking. So when you put that into the you know equation, it changes the way you do stuff. Like, but that being said, it's depressing doing that. I don't like it. So here after this run, I'm gonna get me a nice little. I got me a nice little stash, but I'm gonna get me a nice little stash lined up, and then I think I'm just gonna throw all the cuts I have in the fucking trash, dude. No, I was playing. I think I'm just gonna put them all on the shelf, dude, and I think I'm gonna really just buckle down and hunt through a lot of the stuff I made over the last couple of years and see what's in that. And then, you know, I think every one that does this kind of shit, if you make seeds and stuff, it's fun pollen chucking and stuff like that and doing your thing. But I've been wanting to get a little bit deeper into it and actually like look through some stuff. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
kind of where
mean,
I'm at, man.
that's the goal, It's like to actually look through because obviously you're gonna make some stuff where you're like, hey, there's a space, let me fill it,
Right,
But
right,
there's also stuff that you're like, I truly think that, this will be really cool because if I can get, A and B to line up, like I'd really dig that. And then
yeah,
actually fucking looking for it.
yeah. Yeah, I'm just excited to. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't remember who it was. Maybe it was Bodie or Caleb or somebody was talking about having uh somebody was talking to him about having cuts, and it's like, yeah, he's like, man, it would be cooler if they were all your cuts, man, or some shit. And I'm just like, that kind of hit me in a certain way one day. I was sitting here thinking, I was like, yeah, it's cool having like Kim and things like that, but like it'd be cooler to just get in there and find something better, dude, or cooler. Like, yeah, for sure. Like obviously that's what like any breeder. I've never considered myself a breeder, so like I don't really think like that really. But yeah, like lately I'm just like, man, like I like this about this for sure. So like, wouldn't it be cool to hit everything to GMO? I was just kidding. Not really, but for real.
Well,
But
no, but like actually looking for and making those selections. That's
yeah, dude.
you know, the whole as cool as things are, they could be cooler.
Yeah,
You know,
it's a
they
lot of
could
work.
be better. You know, like imagine a fucking a sour that has a much
Yeah.
higher hit rate of actually being fucking just dank nasty instead of like, yeah. It's like it's all right, it's cool. I definitely fucked that up though, like and it being super easy to do.
Yeah.
I mean, that's that's the goal with stuff.
Yeah.
I don't
I
know,
need to
that's how
go.
I think about it
Yeah,
because there's
yeah,
been such
yeah.
cool hybrids,
Yeah.
and like having I have access to the cool cuts or whatever, but the hybrids have been I'm digging them. I'm digging them. They're pretty fucking dope. Like they're easier to grow. They're in like that mindful direction of people who also want it to be better. To like pull out a better version of that cut. Where it's lacking, and that's
I wish people would
fucking easier.
I wish people like wouldn't get so fixated on the cuts. I know it's easy for me to say that because I got some of them, but I just I think it's a waste of time for a lot of people because like not only you got to get one or find one that's legit or hope that it is or do a lot of research or asking people stuff, whatever, but like you know are you going to grow it well? It's old as fuck. Like, so people's expectations and like that allure of some of these cuts, like to me, it's like, I don't know. I call it hype in its own way too. It's like, yeah, like some stuff really hits the mark, right? But if you're not growing it right, or, you know, it's some of this shit can be, you can grow a bad run of Kim D easily, dude. I feel like, if you don't know what you're doing, even myself, like I'm not an expert by any means, but it's taken me a lot of runs. And even I've tried enough people's D's, now to know like where I'm at kind of on that scale of like growing. And I mean, I like it. It's great. But like ideally, like for growing, guys, I'm going to do the research for you guys. I'm going to do some under canopy lighting for you guys. I'm going to do one. I'm going to get one and we're going to run it. I've kept enough track of some of these harvests to kind of know where I'm at, especially with something like the Kim D, for example. So I know where I should be, or so I can kind of gauge. So we're gonna try it out. Heck, we might even do some CO2 out of our buttholes. I'll sit in there and just fart gas in there the whole time. Eat a bunch of beans and just start farting. No, I don't know.
Well, you'll
Kim
definitely use CO2. Just don't fucking blast it.
Yeah, I know. Kim Carter's on probation for that. Fuck. They're gonna take Kim fans are gonna see this and see my GMO hoe talk. And they're gonna say, dude, he's not coming to the parties no more. They didn't want me in at Autoflower, dude. Calm down. No, I was kidding. No, dude. Yeah, man. I don't know. I like having a jar of it. That's with a lot of these cuts. It's cool. Like having a jar of it's tight. But I don't know if I like am that type of person where I want to smoke the same thing like every day. Really, I like to rotate. I don't take enough breaks to really enjoy them on an individual level, probably like other people do. Especially like maybe like if I have a long day of work, like physical work, and I'm not smoking that much, or I got to go do some stuff like responsible shit. So I can't smoke like I want, like baby, birthing classes, things like this. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm kind of. I guess everybody has their own jam, you know. And if something works for you, uh, that's that's cool, you know. I don't know. I'm a
Well,
GMO.
you
What
you
what can I
you
say?
said it earlier in terms of the cuts about how like you feel like it's a waste of time for most people, and
Hmm.
I definitely agree with that. Um, I got like extremely lucky to because the only cut I ever really wanted was shore, and like just so happened to end up getting it, but that doesn't fucking happen for most
Yeah.
people. And it's not like it fucking happened quickly, you know. But out of the fucking hybrids of the seeds that were readily available, easy to fucking get my hands on and grow out, I have found all of the things that I love about shore in several different hybrids, and been able to learn about different cuts like the 56 before I ever got the 56,
Yeah.
just because I fucking grew like fucking 5 or 6 different fucking 56 hybrids, like
Yeah.
I had like when I grew it, I was like, yeah, okay, this is exactly like this is pretty much exactly like several of the plants that I've already grown and have fucking cuts of, you know?
You're gonna hate me, and I'm probably gonna offend a lot of people out there, but I don't care for shoreline, and I don't understand the love for it. To be honest with you, it's cool. I've smoked a couple people's different runs of it. I think I smoked Bitter's version of it. I like it, but uh, it's just missing like some little key component for me. And I don't know what it is. I don't care to grow it. It's kind of annoying to grow for me. I feel like every time I grow it, I've been getting smarter. This is another thing too. I've been kind of slimming down when I'm actually running because if you're trying to grow shore with GMO or anything that stretches a little bit, I don't know,
Yeah, it just
91
kind of
stuff.
doesn't. It just starts and then it putters out.
Yeah, it's just like it does its thing. It's every time I've grown it, it's been a little different. Now, I will say something that's super interesting. When I made, and I meant to say this earlier, I'm really excited about looking through some of the. I did some of the when I did the East Coast Sour diesel reversal. I hit it to Kim Dog, and I had some seeds, and then I made some. I hit those to like some of the peanut butter breath stuff. So I'm gonna look into those. But when I ran the some of the East Coast work, the shoreline cross or whatever, the cross to the shoreline, some of those plants do look like dead up like shoreline. They smell like shoreline. There was one in there, bro. I swear to God, this thing probably was gonna go like 16 weeks or something, dude. I don't know. It was a healthy plant. Everything's cool, but it stayed down like a bush. I ended up just cutting it eventually, dude, because it was like everything was else. Imagine it's like Bubba, East Coast Sour Diesel, Kim D, and then some of the. I think I hit it to like some of the more hypey stuff too. So like, there's a lot of random things in there, but yeah, like it was never gonna finish. But the other ones, they looked a lot like shore and smell like it. And I still have some of those seeds. I still have a bunch of the shoreline to the Kim BX or whatever, Kim DBX. Sorry, I can't talk right now. The Kim DBX I still got to give you. They're like massive chunky seeds. I still got a bunch of shit I got to give you. A couple other guys. I need to get everything together. I've been off these edibles, dude. I've put on like 15 pounds daddy mode. What the hell? So I've been busy, but yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, with shore, for one, I love the high, or the effects.
Yeah.
I really dig the effects because I get like blasted, but not drowsy. It's just quite delightful for me. I enjoy it
I
quite a bit.
respect that. That's cool.
And the smell is not like like I don't know, dude. There's just something about that, that smell just grabs you, and it doesn't. I don't really smell it in any other flower
Not
except
yet. Till this cut. I'm gonna meet up with you and I'm gonna give you this cut and you're gonna smell it. You're gonna see. You're gonna see.
Oh, dude, I'm down. I'm
I'm
down.
telling you,
But
it's
it's not a profile that's fucking prevalent, you know?
yeah, no, for
Uh,
sure,
there
for
are
sure.
definite problems with it. You know, I am you know, just not good at growing it. There's no other way to say
Right.
it. I just can't fucking nail it. It just doesn't happen for me. I mean, I get, you know, a smokable product kinda, and I get, you know, like I do get a really good fucking profile out of it. But like, dude, I just don't like it's fucking bad. It's oftentimes it's like I'm just smoking fucking stigma and
Right.
like leaf material because like I just could not get the vast majority of the buds to do any type of setting. Um
This the top ones for me. It was always like so. Instead of for me, it always seemed to grow out like 4, 5, 6 branches. Main branches go out from more of a lower point on the plant, and then like the top nugs on those, like they get nice, but like the rest of the plant, not so much, you know. So that and the Kim D and a couple of the other plants for me on some of the lowers, the way I grow, obviously it's different for everybody. I usually do a lot of topping. I usually am like doing some kind of training and stuff, just because like for me trying to keep my canopy and even as possible. And if you got a lot of plants in a small area, you're prone to obviously PM and things like that. So I try to keep my shit as level as possible to where I can keep that a nice airflow going across there. But yeah, dude, those plants,
well,
like, they're cool.
I trim
Go
up
ahead.
the skirts like super aggressively.
Yeah, I did
You
too
know,
on some of
like
them. Yeah,
all the way up to usually I just leave like the top two nodes of
yeah, yeah.
branches because I also pack my shit in, you know, um, to where like I have a lot more plants to be able to, you know,
Yeah.
make up for the fact that I've stripped pretty much everything off.
What size
Um,
pots do you run them in? And by the way, if you don't mind me asking,
beds until
that's
now. I also have two spaces that I am running 3 gallon pots in, and I want to get into 5 gals at least, you know, 5 to 7, but like 5 gallons, I don't have to get as much extra soil to fill them up.
right.
So I'll probably go with that and still have a significant, you know, bump in amount per pot.
Right.
Just to help because and I want to get two flood tables to put in so that because like feeding has been no problem. The problem has been with them, like once they start really fucking raging, the 3 gallons and where the actual tents are at, like what room they're in, um, I'm like watering a lot. It gets very
Oh,
hard to
yeah.
keep up with whenever they're like really raging, you know,
Yeah, I know.
to
I
where I'm
know.
fucking watering like fucking 2-3 times in a day just to try and get it back to set point and like still trying to have, you know, a dry back on it, you know, a bit.
Yeah.
And it gets so fucking hard to manage with that small of a pot for me, especially,
Yeah.
most of the time I'm in like solo cups and 1 gallons until they go into a bed, you know, like it's not a fucking big deal. Um, and that's, 70 fucking gallons of soil in each of those flowering spaces that make it way fucking easier
Yeah.
to manage, like water. I could be fucking gone for a week and it's fine, you know?
So,
Um,
something that I found where I moved that back up to, I was doing a lot of 3 gallon runs, and just I was doing that mainly where I was at. I had extra room, so like I do a little chuck in, but also I was testing out cuts just to see if they're worth keeping. You know how, like, I've said it a million times. I'm not from California. I don't have access to a billion cuts. My dad's not, fucking Greg or whatever. So it's like I can only talk about what I experience, or maybe, and sometimes that might not even be accurate. You know, with the way that things are in this industry or whatever you want to call it, this fucking hobby. But that being said, I was testing out a lot of cuts just to see what they're like. Like I did, you know, so you guys might have like some of you older cats might have got to experience shit in the last like 7-8 years and stuff. But like I was like kind of like learning and stuff for that during that time, and like popping seeds up until literally the last couple of years. So it's like I didn't really experience cuts of any kind. So like I thought to myself, like I need to have an understanding of these. So I was doing a lot of stuff in like 2 gallons, 3 gallons, which it's cool. But dude, you're right. It's a bitch. You gotta water every day, especially if you're in a dry climate like like you are. And then also like there's a pitfall to doing big pots too, because where I'm so used to running little pots for so long, and basically uh like last run I did, I should have let them veg out for another week or two just to kind of like absorb some more of that food in the soil and let the roots expand a bit more, because I did waste a little bit on some of like the bigger pots for sure. Also, I mean, some obviously some cuts and things like that, the roots are not as great as the others, so that could be a thing too. But just learning that that's the thing about all the shit is like you could grow in the same tent, but if you just there's so many variables and different things that go into it that can really affect your run. So like just getting used to it and dialing it in, like I feel like I'm always like one step ahead of myself. I gotta. I think I always say it. This next run, this next run's the one.
Yeah, well, you
Yeah.
got to think about it. It's like in any given space. I mean, dude, I'm in the same fucking place, in the same house. I'm in the same climate that I've literally ever grown in my whole fucking
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
All I did was change rooms and style. Not even style, just like the actual container that I'm using changed. And I'm having all sorts of fun, like, and it takes,
Different.
it's going to take a little bit of time with each thing until you're like, all right, this is what this space wants, and it just takes fucking, quickest way out is through. You just got to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why, like, this next time I'm getting, flood tables are probably bigger pots so that I'll keep feeding on top, no problem. And then I could just butt chug water, just throw it fucking, 2 gallons of water to add a little, a couple of centimeters on the bottom. So I can just fucking suck it up that way and I don't got to deal with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, I mean, I think that's something I was thinking about not too long ago. And I think about shows and different ideas and stuff like that. And even though I haven't been making any, but I think about it all the time. And I think like, some of these other channels will make like they'll make weed look growing good weed so easy, and like, oh, it's just vibes, and like Ace Infinity just sent me this light and all this shit. And like, dude, like it's a lot of work, a lot of people don't realize
actually doing it's
yeah
simple. It's simple, but it doesn't make it easy because you have to actually do the shit. Then once you start and also the whole if you just have your closet or a fucking 2x2 at the fucking corner of your apartment, whatever. That is fucking pretty easy. When you're measuring at, like, I saw this new can of influencer who is arising from the fucking crowd.
The dab queens, the dab hoes.
She's pulling out using a fucking syringe, like a 60 or 100 mil syringe to measure water. And it's like, oh, honey, just wait till you get those other spaces all fucking rocking. Like, good luck.
But that's the thing for me when I watch that shit. I think, okay, is there a link down at the bottom of this video to Amazon affiliate program for that syringe? Like that's the kind of shit I think to myself. I'm just a fucking crusty old man anymore. I watched it. I was like, this is just a big sponsored video.
She's totally doing advertising. And like other growers, actual growers, because I could tell by the way that the suggestions, the things that they're telling her are very normal. And like, this is what I would tell any new grower if they
Yeah.
sent me this picture or sent me this video of their grow. I
Yeah.
would tell them the same fucking thing, bro. Like,
Yeah.
you know, she doesn't react well to some of them, some of the criticisms. You know, some of them are just mean. You know, and like I get that.
Yeah.
There's always going to be part of that. You know, but
Yeah.
a lot of it is like, hey, maybe don't take up the whole space with one plant unless you're going to like veg it to take up the canopy instead of getting
Right.
not even half an ounce, you know, like a finished flower for that whole fucking space and time.
Yeah. That's not a window into their world. That's a peephole, bro. No. I know. I try not to be a hater. I occasionally I'll see some of those videos and I'm like, God, dude. Especially like in the autoflower world, I'm like the guys that are like the guys. I'm like they can't even grow. They're terrible. You know, like the yellowed out tops and all this shit, and like before they're even in the flower, like. But I try not to be a hater, man. I try to focus on our shit, because it's like get your money, boo. You know what I mean? I can't really. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I can't.
I can't hate on that. You know, like I don't know. There's a point where it's like it does suck getting someone who. I mean, dude, I fucking talked to a dude who's still in a noob trap, and it's like, brother, I met you like 6 years ago.
I know, right?
Fuck, are you still buying this stupid shit? You know, like he finally, after like a year and a half, came around on that Cantrol, the like the freeze drying weed fucking humidor whatever bullshit that you just put like your plants directly into, like
$1,600 or something or some
dude,
shit.
It's like 25. It's fucking crazy expensive. And I told him, he was like, "Oh, what do you think?" I was like, "I don't think you need that." Like, I mean, if you want to experience that type of freeze dry stuff, like a cheap version of it is available where you can just hang dry your buds till that initial dump happens and then put it in your fucking freezer. Because every freezer on people's refrigerators, most of the time, are frost-free freezers that'll do the same thing. You don't got to pay a crazy amount of money. It's kind of cool, but like, it is what it is. It's definitely you get a lot better result from just learning how to properly dry and store your weed. Like
paper bag contractors. That's all you need, dude. It's all you need. Like jars.
Like there's so many. There's normal ways to do it that don't cost a crazy amount of money.
No,
you don't even have to. You could just hang it up to dry and just like after 2 weeks, that's when you start cutting buds off to smoke and do that. You'd probably have a better fucking experience of what most, like people trying all these crazy water cures and shit. But like he finally did come around to the whole. Yeah, this Cantrol is just kind of like an expensive ass thing, and I get pretty much the same quality out of jars. I was like,
just give me that money. Give Chuck the money. I will buy a flow hood. I will learn TC, guys. Let's go. Give me. I watch these guys and I'm like, man, like, what the fuck? What? Like, another product is that one. Maybe we shouldn't say their name, but the tissue culture kit, the micro one, dude, it's like $2,000. Dude, somebody was talking about in the Discord, and I was like, man, like I looked into it a little bit, did crazy research, but
from the we'll say popular nutrient brand.
Yeah. Dude, so if you go and even look on like the content creators that were doing videos on it, they didn't even, most of them didn't finish up, like follow up the video to show their results. They just did like, this is what you do. But like, it's just a ripoff, dude. A lot of that stuff, anything with Canna slapped onto it, right? You're paying more for it anyways, but it's like, those products are so gimmicky, bro. Like you're talking, it's like it's this little bitty thing. It's not really probably even going to actually function properly and do what it needs to do. And it's obviously just like a money grab for people that do just watch YouTube videos and
dude, that's kind of like the whole economy now.
It's all fake.
Everywhere you look, it's like the same fucking pyramid scheme shit that was sold to our fucking moms that it's that same exact level of fucking retardation that like we're being fucking sold. Which I get it. Like if I made a grow book, it'd be like fucking 7 pages. 7 or 10 pages. Because in all reality, it's pretty fucking simple. You just got to do the things. 2 of those pages would be just like pest and pathogen stuff. Because in reality, everything in life is pretty fucking simple. You just got to do it, dude. And you will learn over time and with experience of failing repeatedly at something. It'll work at some point, you just got to even if you're fucking starting. I did not start off well with growing weed. I don't think that really a great spot now, but I was fucking terrible. You know what I'm saying? I just brute forced it. You just got to keep on going.
There was a dude when I first started up. Again, actually legitimately growing. I had a tent and a proper light. The best thing I would consider my legit start. I got some seeds from maybe Seedsman or something. And they were either purple Dizzle or black Dizzle, bro. I can't remember. And I have a picture on it on my old hard drive, but I filled out a 4x4 with these plants. And dude, to this day, that shit was still the most diesel-y, easy grow, massive chonger. And that was one of my first grows, dude. I wish I got more of those seeds. I'm an idiot. I just assumed that, everything's good, oh yeah, this is great. I didn't think nothing of it. I still have some of those, not those particular diesel seeds, but yeah, I do remember that. And it just hit that particular grow brought me into. I had a grow buddy that was into Pokemon, dude, and we were into Pokemon cards and flipping cards and doing all kinds of weird shit. Not like that kind of weird shit, but but we kind of met through that, and he was showing me genetics, seeds, and he got me into my first HLG. Actually, I still got that light that he gave me in a trade. But anyways,
HLG slut. I like it better than I have a fucking HLG 650, and then literally right fucking next to it, fucking Gavita 1700E.
Yeah,
the bar LED and stuff.
Yeah,
I to the eye, which I know doesn't mean a lot. The fucking HLG puts out a lot nicer light, just appeasing when I look in there, which is nice. But maybe it's just because I'm accustomed to HLGs now, because I've been rocking them for fucking almost 7 years now.
Yeah,
and maybe it's because I've really dialed down using the dial and stuff like that, and how I use an HLG.
Right.
The Gavita's way fucking different. It's got this programmable bullshit. It's got a lot more going on with it. So there's also that. And anytime the power goes out or that circuit gets broke or whatever, the HLG will just go back on whenever the fucking pin timer, work. The Gavita does not. It was off for 2 days before I realized, oh shit, this motherfucker hadn't been going on. Because you gotta reprogram it,
That I got a couple fans, some of the Hurricane fans that do that, or that turn off. I'm fuck. So you gotta turn them back on. A lot of the guys Pez and them in the Discord, they talk about the floor flexes or whatever. I thought about trying one out, but it's kind of like you said. I'm used to the HLGs or the Mars Hydros. If I wanted a cheap light for some bullshit, I usually just get a Mars just because they work for me and I know how they work.
Most LED companies now, you can get a very easy to like approach base model from most companies that will do most people fine.
Yeah.
And like honestly, if you were like a brand new grower rocking like an HLG 650, you're probably going to kill your plants. Like, so it does take, I definitely think there's something about having that much power available to you, like when you don't really know how to wield it is one thing. I think that's why everyone a bunch of dudes talk like about the whole like HPS versus LED debate thing. I think a lot of it is just not being able to like compensate. Like, yeah, it is a new light and it like behaves differently. And you gotta, because even between these two fucking LEDs, they behave very differently. And I have to compensate differently for the fucking Gavita, which like I'm acknowledging might be why I like the fucking HLG more. But functionally at the end of the day, why would I not rock an HLG? Like I'm probably going to replace, give this light to my friend who has let me borrow it and fucking get another HLG 650 to run in there because
they're nice.
That's what we're good on,
I do think they make the best buds out of all the lights that I've tried over the years. I do think they make the best buds for sure. I do think though you can grow great bud with like just a cheap Mars light. It's not like, I mean, for me at least, comparing, I got a couple of the bigger HLG lights over the years, and I mean, I do think there is like a noticeable difference, but I also have had runs where I'm like, man, like this one over under the Mars Hydro in the 8x in this corner, it's just as big or dank or whatever, or gave me more weight, or over time we're in the same cuts under these different lights, and I would say for sure like the HLGs are better. I just think that for a new grower, if you're not in this shit to do it for real or do it for a while, invest in nowadays the cheapest like light I think was like $700, $800, $900 to $1,000 or to $1,000 for a HLG light if it's even in stock. So it's a big
you get a
investment.
refurbished for like $650.
Okay.
I think I got my 600 or my 650 for like 630 to $650 shipped.
Yeah. The problem is like, you could easily get on a Black Friday you could get four of those light, 3 or 4 lights to fill out like an 8x8 or a 10x10 with under $1,000 or $1,000, basically. But it's one of those things. It's like some people like swear by certain lights, and for sure, like obviously, the more money, a lot of times, not a lot of times, but some of these lights, like the HLG, is worth the money. But it's also like like I said, like I don't know if I would choose to like out of all things to get right. I don't know if I would spend that much money on a light to start off if I just got a 10 or 2.
Oh no,
I would maybe get other things, spend that money, and then if I say, I really like this or I do really well with it, and kind of understand what it's like to deal with, 400 to 450, 460 or whatever it is they are nowadays, 475 in that range of watts max. Like with the HL or the Mars Hydro, I think it's like a 450 or 4. I can't remember 4. I think it's a 450. 420. I don't really know, but it's not so much power that you turn into max. It's gonna destroy everything. But yeah, but then again, if you're one of these guys that has the money or girls, whatever, and you don't care to spend the money and you want to start off cock strong, then yeah, get one.
If you're one of the people who buys like really good tools because like I'm going to use the fuck out of this thing and I want to use the same one forever, then yeah, get an HLG. But understand that it is a lot of power. And if I run it at 100%, it's only for like a week, maybe 2 on something that's like a little bit longer. Yeah. But you do not want to just rock it full power. And I run mine pinned to to the ceiling. I don't ever
Yeah.
raise or lower it. None of that shit.
Yeah, it depends on what you're doing in your space too, right? Because say you are wanting to do a little pollen chuck in, or maybe you need isolated tents, maybe not for contamination necessarily, because it's kind of impossible in a room. But like, say you got different things going. Maybe you got auto flowers, maybe you got some longer flowering or whatever, shorter. Like, however you're doing it, like there might be a power restraint where like if you fill every tent you got with like a 700-watt light and you're trying to run that, it might not work for you if you're on like you can't bump up your power if your circuit's out so many amps, So you need to be careful because it's like, yeah, like it might serve you better just to get a bunch of like cheaper lights just because, yeah, they only go to like four something. And like, because, yeah, like you said, you can run your lights half power too, and I'm not an electrician. Or it might be better to do that. I don't really know. But at the end of the day, like, yeah, it just depends on what you're doing. Because you can, like, I always have like the HLG lights reserved for like stuff that I'm going to smoke, for sure. Like if I'm, wanting to do a good pause run, or something, or if I really want to if I was going to take pictures and wanted stuff to look really good, yeah, I probably would rock it under this particular HLG. This light that's on next to me is an HLG. It's going on. This is probably probably closer to 8 years old, and it's been going for that long. So it's a more of like the like a flowering spectrum or whatever you call like a red spectrum. It's not great for everything. It does veg stuff decently, but But that being said, like you could in the right state. Like in Michigan, dude, there were so many grows going out of business and stuff. You could find great deals, you got to be careful with that shit or at least make sure you clean it really well before you bring it in. And I know some of the old school dudes are like, dude, this is basic ass shit. But I literally get messages every couple of days of being like, dude, when you gonna do a new podcast? Just started watching, blah blah blah. So we got new people that watch too. So like, I do think it's important to express a little bit of caution with some of the stuff because like. Yeah, you don't just bring in grow equipment, especially like air duct equipment, anything like that. But like a light, you can clean off a light pretty easily. But in Michigan, dude, especially like on Facebook or Craigslist or whatever these places, or even like they had like individual auction sites like for this shit. They like in town people would tell me about. I forget the site's name, but there would be grows going out of business and rec facilities, whatever, all these things, and you could get really great deals. I just don't have the patience to sit around bidding on shit. I'm not like unless it's some seeds, right? Speaking of seeds, I got some of the Kim Dog P from H&L, man. I didn't get a bunch of packs. There's only a few packs left, so I just got a pack or whatever, like a loser. But yeah, but I got those.
I got some of those ones too.
Nice. Yeah, I'm excited for those. I'll pop some of those probably here soon. I got a lot of my own stuff going on, like I said, but I'm going to move into popping seeds again. I miss it, dude. That Easter egg hunt. I know we're jumping over topics and stuff, but that's the Easter egg hunt vibes, the Pokemon vibes. I don't know. Trying to get a shiny rare dog. I'm trying to have fun and explore more.
Dude, I truly think that people would be quite astonished what they can find in seeds because they see it all the time. People talking about, oh, fucking don't even bother buying seeds. And it's like, bro, if like, I think that speaks more to the seeds that you purchased and grew.
Yeah.
Because like, wow, especially some of these packs where like stuff just fucking lines up perfectly, like that original Sim. I haven't seen one that sucked.
Right.
Everyone's been a fucking killer.
Yeah.
There's stuff that just I don't know. And that for what has stood the test of time, I think there's a lot of stuff that you could very easily find that would at least be as valuable to like hold up, to like hold for a while and stuff.
Yeah. We should jump over the comments. I keep forgetting we're even live, brother. I keep forgetting. I'm fired. My bad, guys. I appreciate y'all tuning in, Kyle, a few other people, Pinzer and stuff. Appreciate you guys listening in. I don't think we got any questions. If you got questions and didn't get them answered, get them in now. My bad. I'm paying attention now. I forgot. I'm
But
fired. I got edibles in my system.
here's
yeah.
here's a not really a question, but a comment from Kyle Coates. I love my beds, but I miss the flexibility of pots. When I expand this space, I'm gonna have a room for pots. Totally, like that is one thing that I think people forget. Like when, or at least forget to like keep in mind when they're talking about beds. Like when you get them in there, that's it, bro. Like they're in there till they're done. So you better, like prepare for it. And it does suck in not being able to like move stuff around, because even within the same, like running the same cut, sometimes you'll have like one of those clones just wasn't as fast as the others. And it's like, damn,
Yeah.
I wish I could just, like this, it would be fine if I could just get it to come up a little bit more, and you don't, and then it ends up getting fucking swallowed at the canopy completely, like and like snuffed out. That is a problem that you run into with beds. I love them, but there are practical reasons why people don't run them.
Dog, I'm in a conundrum right now. I'm thinking to myself, like, I think I need to double net my shit this time, dude, because I had shit falling over all over everything, dude, last time. I netted already. I netted one. I should have did a double net because everything just stretched so much, dude. I wasn't used to like the stretching the bigger pots, And I was like, good God, dude. Like, I mean, I don't really want to share too much details about it, but long story short, I got a lot of yield on a lot of these plants, and I was just like, dude, what the fuck? So I'm in there chopping nets and bullshit. I think it was Bitter that told me about the plastic nets. I need to switch over there. Switch to those because I've been using like the like reusable nets, which I don't even like reusing those because it's like, dude, you're spraying fucking sulfur and things. But like, and I do have like 300-400 foot of the like 4 foot. I think it's like nylon or something. But that stuff splits and shit weird if you use a knife. I like to burn it so it doesn't. But he was showing me those plastic ones that are almost like just like a plastic mesh thing. I need to switch to that. But that shit's more expensive, dude. It's all money,
Dude,
It's a lot of.
have you
Go ahead.
I use fishing line and just like weave it. It's super simple.
I thought about doing that, but man, like in an 8x8, for example, if it's not automated, like you got to get in there. So like this
Yeah,
time
no, I
I'm.
mean that is something with the net. They also kind of end up locked at a certain point. They're there.
Yeah, no, this is why I'm gonna not do like one of the 4x4s. I know it's a waste, but I got a dehumidifier and a bigger fan. So this time I'm just gonna focus more on like three corners of the 8x8, I guess, or three 4x4s essentially. And focusing on that and train more, and that way I can just really hone in and make sure they're getting what they need. Because I feel like I lost a little bit just from them falling over that last like week or so, and then you're always running that risk of rot or molds or whatever too. So this time I'm gonna do a little bit different, and I have like I said, I've kind of like over these last year and a half specifically found ones that really perform for me and maybe don't get the respect from the hitty guys, but between like some older cuts and some of the newer ones, I found the stuff that works for me. Like I said, like GMO and the Gorilla glues and what else? I don't know, I'm high right now, bro. But yeah, I've been rocking out with those. But yeah, man, I think I'm gonna automate a little bit this time just because I got a lot of stuff going on in my personal life right now. So I don't like to get away from the garden as much as I need to, just because like, yeah, I like to stay in tune with it, but sometimes life gets in the way and you got to do what you got to do. So like this next run's kind of just to keep my head down and get through it and get some smoke, and then I think I'm gonna get back to popping seeds, like I said, and especially specifically popping my own stuff, but like going through like the fridge, dude. Like there's so much shit. We make jokes all the time, but like, yeah, going through the fridge and getting some stuff out and finally popping them. I bought stuff for a reason, so it's like I need to pop it before it goes bad. And I turn into this crusty old man thinking I got a fortune, but it's all like bad seeds. Like
None of them
it's
pop.
not
You
a
got
good.
fucking 3% pop rate.
Yeah. Yeah. Betray all my best friends at 8 years old and, really stick it to them for, a couple grand, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
fucking. I gotta pop a bunch of stuff too, just to like refill the ranks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We gotta fucking build these soldiers back up.
Yeah. Buck asked what was the most mold resistant strain you grew in Michigan. I know you recommended that one guy that had some chem work, I think, and stuff. I never ended up picking up some seeds from him, but what's that? There's a crew up there or a bunch of dudes. I don't know much about these guys outside of pure Michigan and a couple of those other cuts. Their stuff in particular did good. What was it? Some of the stuff they got. I can't remember, bro. Give me a second. I'll think here. I don't know, but one of the other cuts I remember in particular was like the UB40, I think it was, which is like maybe that's the pure Michigan cross. I can't remember specifically. That one did good. Older stuff. I'm trying to think. What really? I mean, a lot Appalachia, like H&L stuff, always seems to do really good. When I asked him what he thought would do good, was I think the Stoned Ape. Gorilla Glue cross, I think it was. That Gorilla Glue that I got from up there, dude. I really like it. It's that in particular. I think I've got a little speck of PM on it one time, but I've ran it 3 or 4 times and haven't seen nothing on that in veg or flour. That one was really good. Honestly, like Gary Payton, I know it sounds lame, but that Gary Payton cut that I run, it doesn't really seem like it wants to mold out, which that inside, right? They take it outside, it'll probably turn to shit, A lot of those modern hypey things will turn to shit outside. But trying to think what else did really good out there. Super Booth, I know you probably don't hear that, but Super Booth, those cuts seem to do really good and up there and here. They don't give me problems. Kim D, even to the extent, doesn't seem like it wants to do real bad. I haven't grown that outside though. I did veg it outside for a little bit, but ended up moving and stuff. So I culled a lot of stuff. But I know H&L said some of the Kim stuff doesn't do good for him, but the some of the Kim stuff did fine for me, especially indoors, obviously. But I mean. I don't really like talking about that kind of stuff really because it's like somebody hears that and they think, oh God, like these cuts are mold out or whatever. But it's like at the same time, when I was talking about stuff, I'm talking about indoors, but like when up there, especially where I was dealing with a large number of plants. So it's like, I'm dumping large volumes of water into these small spaces. So it's not like a ideal situation for that type of stuff. So somebody that's just running a tent, running some of these cuts might find better or different results, right? It's hard to say. I think that's the thing, right? You got to get these cuts in your own gardens and grow them and just find out. Yeah, the Cap Junkie, that's another one. That one did. I know people don't care for that. Maybe some of the older cats don't care for it or never smoked it. I really enjoyed it. It yielded really well. Actually, I'm running it right now. Just one of them. It does great as far as mold. That's the thing is like some of these modern cuts they suck or whatever. You might think they're not heady as fuck. You might not get the blue ribbon award from your homies in the Discord, but they do have their place. Like if you are dealing with problems, like yeah, I mean there are cuts that do well. Now, East Coast Sour Diesel, it can do all right, but then if I net it out really well, but I do find it does to get a little PM if for me if I let it just go wild, dude. And I ain't kidding you, like some of the nugs they're like in this last one they get like that. So I did notice like in the back corner where there's not much movement, if you don't have a lot of air moving, some of that will go a little bit, but not so bad that it's like a problem. At least I've found. that being said, I can always do my gardens better, guys. Like, I mean, Kim 4 probably, I would imagine, works good. The Kim 91 does good for me as well. The HNL said it didn't do good for him outside. Yeah, I think he's on the East Coast. So, like, I don't know. You guys got to just try these out. I don't know if that helps. I also heard Pico made Gary Payton. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he's allowed to talk about that. I know there were some things like, I don't know about that, Buck. Maybe he did. That's a great plant. I really like it for our modern genetic. Like, I don't like smoke it and go, oh my God, like I can't wait to kill this jar or nothing. But, I might even had a jar of it somewhere, dude. Yeah, I mean, I got a jar of it here. Like, it's cool. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's a modern thing, I don't. A lot of these are like a lot of these modern cuts for me personally are interchangeable. Like, I could smoke them or not smoke them or grow them or not smoke them. I mean, I like some of these. I like, for example, the Gary P. Like, this is just the first time I ran it, and like, yeah, just first time I really took it serious and ran it, and it's been good. It was easy to grow. Like, I don't know if I'd run it like all the time or care that much. Like, I could see why the modern guys use it for, that look factor or that bag appeal, I guess you could call it. It does look really pretty, and it performed nice for what it was, and yeah, I don't have no complaints about it. But yeah, I mean, for me, it just depends. It depends on what you guys are wanting. Like, I don't think a lot of these modern cuts have those effects as deep as some of these older cuts do. But I do think they have their place and stuff for your certain people's gardens. I'm sure, right? I mean, and some people just want to grow that. We get locked into like these older genetics and stuff. And something that's always blown my mind about it is it's very gatekeepy. And obviously you don't want to just be handing out cuts to these people, because especially back in the day, because they would take your shit and sell the cuts or make genetics or whatever. So I get it, but it's hard because it's like, as a new grower, how they're ever going to supposed to experience Kim D outside of someone like Caleb or CSI. Like, thankfully we got him, but like, if he decided to close shop, like, where would people be, So it's difficult. So yeah, I don't know if I would chase some of these older cuts so much more. If you don't have good people to rely on, or a crew, or some people you can really trust, I don't know if I would chase some of the older genetics as I would get some of these other ones, more modern ones. Because, like, yeah, you could get a GMO cut or something pretty cheap, pretty easy and pretty reliable, and still get that same kind of jam, that funky kind of jam. I don't know, man. It's hard to, I know this was a PM question, or what does good or whatever question. I'm sorry, I'm on the edibles, guys, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. Gary Payton, oh no, yeah. Some of those do well. Like, I don't know. Some of the modern stuff does well, I guess. I wonder too. Like, some of the older shit, is it just because it's an old cut and it's just more susceptible, or or whatever? Yeah, or where, like, there's so many things that can go into that. Where you're at, like, I feel like growing in Michigan is so difficult compared to growing, where I'm at. I think it's different. I think how many plants you're growing obviously is a big factor. Because, yeah, I see guys all the time like, oh, I don't need to spray microrod sulfur. That's fucking crazy that you're even doing that. And it's like, dude, you know, when you invest a lot of soil, or you got a lot of plants and stuff going on, you don't even want to risk that shit, dude. So why not? You just take in your.
At the end of the day, you're growing a fucking crop.
Yeah.
Like, these are very simple practices that regular ass people use every fucking day on stuff. Like, this is normal. You just, obviously there's good and bad uses of it. You don't want to be fucking spraying it, like, to fall, like, there's definitely certain, like, not mixing oil and sulfur. Like, there's good use practice for them, but
for sure.
It's rather normal. Like, on it, I don't know. I've seen people make like weird, jumps of, like, oh, that's not natural that you're doing all of that stuff. And it's like, brother, this is a plant. This is how we've grown. Like, this is agriculture. This is the thing that we've been doing forever. Like, this is like very basic stuff too. I'm not doing weird shit, like.
Yeah, for sure. No, We got a comment. Somebody said, Buck said, some of the hype cuts people should know about are from the growers we respect in the syndicate. Yeah, I know for sure, man. I just don't know. Like when he was on that podcast, he sounded like he was under like, what do you call it, like a contract or something, not to talk about it. So I just don't want to put his business out there for sure, though. I agree with you. Yeah, some of the guys in the syndicate have made some sick stuff. H&L, Pac, yeah, Pico, some of the other guys in there, Cronzo. My bad. I got edible brain, so I'm probably forgetting Matt, like duh. And then of course Caleb, like shout out to Caleb. He's going through some stuff right now. So don't bother him. I'm not gonna put his business out there, but if you know, you know. But I appreciate him. And yeah, anybody else that's rocking out. I mean, even just the regular members that rock out in the Breeder Syndicate. Super thankful for you guys. I try to keep up with everybody. I've been really busy. I do apologize if you're watching and uh, you've sent me a message on Instagram and ain't got like two or whatever. I've just been busy, man. I'm trying the best I can. If it had it my way, we just have each other's phone numbers and just call me and we just hash it up like that. What do you think about Dizzle? I haven't got to grow Dizzle yet. That's the one that's on my list. That's been
Yeah,
coming.
hybrids.
He Screws grown it, I think, or some cross. Well, I
Yeah.
did grow a triangle choke.
Growing a couple of hybrids of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did grow that. I didn't do those very well though. I don't think. And the one I did run them, I didn't really get. I don't think what people think of Diesel. I don't think I got that from them. So like, I definitely need to. That's one of the S ones I do need to get. I don't have. I don't really have access to the cut or anything. So
Yeah. Oh, shut up.
oh no, you know what I'm saying. Well,
Don't lie to these people like that.
you know what I'm trying to say.
You just don't want to ask somebody.
I'm not asking. I don't
But-
ask for that stuff, bro. Like I'm not trying to ask. I'll never ask a motherfucker for a cut ever, dude. Like I'm just not that guy. Like, and so at the end of the
Yeah,
day, if you want me to have a cut from you,
I have a feeling that Matt's going to
you're gonna
make
have to
sure
send it
that
to
you
me.
get
Just
a
send it to me.
DM at some point here after this now.
no, I don't even care. Honestly, dude, anymore. I look at those old cuts as like a ball and chain a lot of times, dude. Like they're great breeding tools. And now that I'm at a place where I can make seeds, dude, and I'm decent at it, I just make the seeds. And like right now, that's kind of what I'm hyped to jump into, is hunting through some of those things I made. I do still have some of the East Coast reversal stuff. Right now, the thing I'm gearing up for is I got a bunch of the Kim D's. I got 3 big Kimdys and big pots that I'm going to stagger and do it the right way. And I'm going to reverse those. I'm probably going to reverse them on to a few things. And then I'm going to try to store the pollen, hopefully, and see if that works. And that's kind of where I'm at right now, as far as like, that'll probably be like the last seeds that I make for a while. And yeah, just if it's successful, obviously, hopefully. That's kind of where I'm at. But yeah. That's kind of what I'm working on, but no, I haven't tried Diesel. Most somebody asked earlier, most dank strains. I don't know, man. Like we were talking earlier, for me, it's probably going to be, yeah. I mean, probably anything P91, anything GMO. A lot of the GMO hybrids are great. I think if you can't get the cut, some of Matt's got a GMO hybrid. If you're into that kind of thing, I haven't ran that one. Of course, anything if you like Kim's like a particular jam. I don't think like it's for everybody. Some people, especially with like the what is it, the Big Bad Wolf, I think it is, from CSI, and a few other things like that. Some of the S ones people aren't big fans of, but I think you just got to be a fan of Kim. Honestly, I think people's idea of Kim is probably not always accurate until you grow it, because it's people ask all the time like, "What's it smell like?" And dude, I could smell the jar 1,000 times, and I don't really know what to tell you other than maybe like this. But people are like, "Is it funky and stuff?" I wouldn't go as far as say it's like it doesn't blow my mind like GMO does, like a good running GMO. I feel like I think that's
Dude,
just
are you talking about the D?
yeah, in particular,
When
like
I
that.
ran it, I got like a fucking cavity smell and like a bit of like poopiness.
Yeah, like a funky.
But it was quite strong compared to like running
burning.
hybrids of it. I see why H&L once said like I really want to find a fucking, a cut in the ChemD hybrids that's like as good as the cut. So I can
Yeah.
just drop, like the cut, but none of them so far have like quite surpassed it or anything,
Yeah.
Like I get why, because all the fucking hybrids they definitely had the same type of smell and stuff like that, but the intensity was nowhere near as near for me as running the actual cut.
Yeah, like it's great weed, dude. Like, and the effects in particular are great, dude. Here, I'll crack a nug. I don't know. I just don't know how to describe it really. Yeah, it's just loud, dude. It's funky. Is
Yeah,
I
and
don't
like the
know.
91 has a lot more
It's Kimmy, bro. I don't know how to describe it.
well, it definitely, after like running a bunch of different chem stuff, or like just running the cuts and then running stuff that has chem in it, it's pretty easy to pick out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
Because
got
it's
a
it's pretty distinctive, like, oh, that's chem.
Yeah, I think Earns was still a little bit better in the Cocoa run than mine, just a bit. Just like overall, no, I topped mine and netted it. So I think what I'd like to do is just do another run of it and just like let it do its thing more so than try to net it up. And because I noticed he just lets it kind of rock a little bit. So I was gonna let that see how that happened. Also, this run, like for like half the run, it like the portion that the D was under of the 8x8, the light above it was like 150-watt equivalent because I had a light go out, so it wasn't like the most ideal run. Like I said, then I had the HVAC go out, a few other things, but like it's still great. Like I don't know, it's pretty close to Earns. His run that I smelled this last time was super loud. It was great, dude. I liked it a lot, but it's kind of comes back to like I said before. It's like something about like for me the way I grow GMOs. I said GMOs, can't talk, dude. GMO, like it's just good, dude. It's ready to smoke quicker for me. Like the D, I gotta let it cure a little bit for me, more so.
Yeah,
Which
I definitely think that it really gains that, like, oh, this is why everyone fucking talks about this weed.
yeah,
Like it gains that quality to it much later in
yeah.
like curing it than other stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. And that really does make the difference, right? Like there was I ran out of buds, so of course I've been smoking stuff I harvested, and yeah, just over like the last week to watch like buds I've smoked transform, dude, even just a little bit to like go from like that smokable, borderline smokable range to like yeah, bagging them up or unbagging them or trimming them up and then starting to smoke them after they've been in the jars for a few weeks. Like yeah, especially this Gorilla Glue. Like, I just like so pleased with it. It yielded out great for me, dude. Like, everything about it, like no problems. The only problem I had was the damn thing was throwing so much it was falling over, dude. Like I was like, holy crap. I did do it in a 7 gallon, so I just went big this time, like this last one. And it just so it was but even in like a little 2 or 3 gallon, it rocked out for me under like a 150-watt light. Still some of the best smoke, and it kind of like the that same. It's the same, like growing in a small tent or a big tent. It grew way cooler and way better in the bigger tent when I could let it just rock out. But for sure, like in the smaller tent, as far as like the effects and the uh, terps or the flavors and the grow itself, yeah, man, I liked it. It's great. I don't know. It's just the E works for me, right? Like the Kim D's great. The 91's great. East Coast is cool. All those are cool. I like them all. I just certain stuff just works better in certain people's garden. Like I'm almost like at that point where it's like, man, I might just let the homies grow this certain thing and just be like, yo, trade me a little bit of this for my stuff. And because some people just grow plants and stuff better. I feel like, or they just do better, or cocoa's just better, or like certain things. Like I mean, you didn't weren't at the Michigan party, but the running the P91, the our local sweet pea, tasting that versus organic versus cocoa, it was totally different. Like, you could see like elements that it shared, but or it looks similar, right? But like the flavors and the smells, the way it was cured and grown, the same cut, but different, like for sure different. Kind of was mind blowing actually. So it's I think it just, and even Sean's like, man, certain plants express certain way for you differently. He was talking about the OSIN and stuff, or the original sin, his cut. I was just like, yeah, I don't know, it's just the way it is, dude. I thought, for a long time, I thought some of these plants were sick, and it's just the way they perform in my garden, dude. I just, it's the way it is. I don't know. Some of the variegation and stuff that comes out is just part of it. Because, yeah, I don't know. It's just like that. Kind of wild. It's pretty interesting. Sorry to rant, dude.
What you said about the smoking, like smoking while it's still where it's like just barely, you got to let the buds sit out on the counter overnight, like grind enough to smoke. Dog, like that's how I smoke. I don't stop smoking, like sometimes I just don't have enough fucking weed dried until I have another batch completely dried. So like, I don't give a fuck. I just keep smoking, so like I get, I think it's also valuable to at least try that at times.
Yeah.
On even if it's just a small scale, to be able to like see and track through time and through different like dryness, because that's why when anyone fucking talks about the whole white ash, black ash, that bullshit, it's like, oh, I've watched the same exact weed go from like barely being able to smolder to fucking pure white ash just through 5 weeks of like once it's fully dry, then it's just gets completely fucking white. But you got stuff that's a little bit wet, it's gonna be fucking dark.
Wet.
Yeah. And there is some stuff that I don't know. I've had some stuff too where even when it is like completely dry, it's almost like I don't know if it's like the fucking way that the bracts are like set up or whatever, where it's almost like it's not physically designed to burn all the way down, like in them first goes. So there's also that.
There's and how dense the buds are too. Like some of that stuff, like, and some of the older cuts too, I think need a proper cure for them to be where they need to be. Some of the modern stuff, I see why they like it. I see why they run stuff for production, just because, like it yields. It's somewhat resistant to mold, at least in my garden. It seems like it smells good. It looks good. You can harvest it a little early if you need to. I get it all.
Also on the moving side, it's not hard.
Yeah.
If all of my lights had fucking any of those, like any of the cuts that all these custies are like looking for, that in my mind I'm like, there's like 5 different ones, like some are good. They're definitely some of them are better than like all the rest of the stuff, but they're all pretty similar.
You ain't gonna tell me. I just did a bunch of like different there's a bunch of cuts I just read not too long ago that were like, they were all some kind of candy bullshit cakey stuff,
it's all
I don't know, it was like
the same weed, but it would be gone. Like I would not be there wouldn't be any type of and that would be something that for some reason in the market could actually go for more than like, hey, I got this 16-week long fucking, Shoreline by Mango Haze that's way out there, like, and luckily that one's also pretty and like smells really good. So but no one's gonna no one would pay more is what I'm saying. Like very few people. No, because no one gives a shit that it took twice as long to run that as like Saved by Stoned Ape or whatever, like any regular 8-week cut.
Yeah, nobody cares about that. It's like, you can't. That's the problem with I guess your modern day trapper's problem, right? If like you're doing it from the ground up, doing it yourself, is like you just have to have the right clientele, like and that's with anything, right? When you're doing this kind of stuff, is like having the right people to unload that stuff onto. Because like that's what I try to tell some of the guys, like let's just say in certain areas, like if you try to apply some of these plants to like and make you might be able to niche out a spot over time, but say you move somewhere new or whatever and you're trying to do your thing and you're gonna have problems just because like yeah, people get set to a price, you know, and after years of spending that, it makes it hard for people because I mean, let's be real, like the price of living's never getting cheaper. Everything's more expensive. I literally can go back and look on my Amazon or whatever websites and look at what I paid for the same nutrients 2 years ago because it tells me up above, you know, you purchase this item 20 times or whatever. You can go back and look. And it's not easy. So, like, yeah, you really have to be resourceful and unfortunately like for I do think yeah if you the problem is though too if you're living in a place that's super you know heady if you will they all know what's up and they're all growing bud and they all know a guy so that's even harder that's got its own challenges too so it's just a race to the
Well,
but yeah you
there's
really
also people
go ahead.
who move old world prices
Yeah
for what is essentially just a little bit fresher of the same exact
yeah
pop. You know, so
yeah
you have someone who's like, shit, I usually spend, you know, $20 for an eighth or whatever, you know, and then they fucking spend 3 times as much and get pretty much the same effect. And they're like, I'm
yeah
not gonna. It's not like back in the day where like the swag to actual fucking good weed difference, it's not there. You know,
right
like we were
yeah
okay with, you know, like crazy inflation prices on the flour compared to brick because there was that huge of
yeah
a difference. And now it's just happened so many times that even when they try, like, I'm going to pay more to get the better product or whatever. And then it doesn't happen for them because it's the same exact product, just in a different package, you know?
well
It makes it difficult.
another problem too is like everybody's raced to the bottom so hard that nowadays if people are smart they ask for you know a QP so now it creates this weird thing if you're just a tent guy like are you gonna be able to like maintain this type of weight for these people and then that idea of like yeah getting maybe years ago they were you know, a zip person or a half zip here or there, and now all of a sudden they've spent their time buying, you know, cheap QPs or whatever, or more or whatever, and then so it creates a weird situation because it's like they're expecting these bulk discount prices for you on some Kim dog, you know, or something, right? And it's like you can't do that. Like I'll just keep it, you know, if you're going to do that,
Yeah.
like.
No, I'll just smoke it.
I'll
I'm
just
good.
smoke it, dude. Like it's not like that big of a deal, or like you know, people don't count on. Like if you're, I feel
It's
bad for
worth
anyone that,
more in my jar than that,
yeah,
you know?
yeah, you know. So it creates this weird. You almost yeah it just creates a weird situation because yeah like yeah, are you even like okay so you grow out the most heady shit in the world you want to get rid of that you know like I want to keep it dude you know so I get back in the day it's different and you can you know you got these giant grows and doing all this shit but like you're just like a tent dude and you're doing your thing maybe you got a room or two and like it's I, I was yeah, it's hard. I couldn't imagine just being this for like making your living, you know. Like that's crazy, dude.
Uh,
It's you almost
yeah.
look at it more as just like a bartering thing or a trading thing type thing for me anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Well, I mean, it sucks because even everyone I know on, you know, much larger scales, they all fucking hate their life too. They're like, this fucking sucks.
Yeah, it's
You know,
not fun. Yeah, like cropping out like
this
three or four
sucks.
yeah, like things, you know, you're running the same shit over and over and you know, you it's not you get lost in that too. It's all I think for me it's like a fine line of like having a few tents and it might be an 8x8 or whatever, but a couple 4x4s or whatever in a veg space or however you want to articulate that or build that out. But I think it's for me like yeah, running a few cuts I can count on in my 4x4, and then exploring seeds is kind of like my bread and butter where I want to get back to at least too, and do that. That's more fun. Like cuts, you kind of know what they're going to give you for sure, and they do have a place. And I do think a new grower should experience things to give you like a some kind of benchmark to understand why people care about shit or why it works for them. Like, you get lost in the sauce if you're getting rep cuts because a lot of that shit's production, right? It's not necessarily for effects. So, a lot of the modern stuff you got to be careful. But, I think you get to like GMO and to kind of stop, and everything else after that. There are things that do well and might perform for you or might work for you as a tool, or you might like individually. Like, I ain't gonna lie, like I like that Cap Junkie, dude. I think that's like decent weed for real. Like I did a run of it in Michigan that I don't know, like I thought it was as good as not better than a lot of the other like things that had grown that were older. I just think that the effects, it just comes back to effects too for me. Like it doesn't make me paranoid staring out the window at night, like thinking like, somebody's coming to get my butthole, but like the actual high and like the intake and I'm like the smell and the flavor and everything about it to grow. Like, cause that's kind of how I look at shit nowadays too, is it's like, man, okay, this thing was great, but it was a bitch to grow. Or like, man, every time I grow that, I have to do this certain thing. Like sometimes, like it depends on my mood. Like I might, like right now, I'm dealing with a kid, like a baby and stuff on the way. It's just not realistic to do certain things for me. And I've dealt with these cuts enough that I'm like, man, I'm just gonna run the Gorilla Glue and throw a couple D plants in the small tin, and you know, just rock
You
certain.
gotta find you
Go
gotta
ahead.
find new cuts that
Yeah.
you can hold and bring to fame
No,
and then pass on to your son as that.
no, that's weird. I'm an asshole. I'll be like, find your own bitch.
Here's a bag of seeds.
Yeah, yeah. Here's a bag of seeds in my freezer, bro. Find the one. No, you know something that to this day that skunk or sorry that skank dog um that I popped from what's his name? I can't ever think. Rob. Anyway, seed drip Rob. Seed trip Rob. I can't ever talk, dude. The skank dog work, dude. That plant, that particular one I found, it didn't yield like crazy. It wasn't like the craziest big plant or nothing, but I grew it in like 150-watt little 2x2. To me, this day, that's some of the best weed I've ever grown, dude.
And it looked
So
like my kind of fucking weed. That
it
plant, it was like, oh,
it just reminded me
yeah.
of like old school weed, like pictures that you see, and you're like, damn, like it just looks sticky, icky, like that sharp, dark, like earthy kind of
Yeah. It looked
soury.
like a High Times photo,
Yeah,
like one that
yeah.
you'd be like,
Uh,
ooh, while you're
ooh,
fucking
yeah.
getting high on the worst weed of your fucking life with your friends.
Yeah, I know. Speaking of hot times, dude, I've been thinking about making a magazine. And I need to talk to Matt and other few guys, and there'll be a lot of people out there be like, "Why, dude?" But I was thinking about making like a magazine. It might take a little bit of like work and stuff, and it might not be a monthly magazine. It's probably like a quarterly magazine. But I was thinking about like, yeah, just doing strain reviews and stuff like
I
that for
like that
fun.
idea, Chad.
Have it proper pictures. I need to do some stuff, and this is probably a little bit of the ways out. It's not like I'll be doing it tomorrow, but for sure, like um, that I was thinking about doing something like that, where even if I was only doing like 100 copies or whatever, something small, that's cool, and maybe add some cool things to it. I don't know. I was just been thinking
Just
about
do
that kind of
something
thing.
super dope for us, I think would be cool.
I
You
think
know?
so.
Like not worried about like, oh, is this gonna fucking sell in Europe or any bullshit? Like
No, that's weird
just
shit.
like,
Yeah,
nah, we're gonna make something cool.
just something
Like
cool.
for it to be cool,
Yeah.
that type of
Bo-
shit.
Borderline kitties in there.
Okay, hey, this question: do you feed Epsom salt or use sugar during flour?
I do use like molasses based products and stuff like that. So especially like towards the end a little bit. I do use it here or there. I do. It just depends. It depends on what you're speaking of. But like for flour in particular, I do use like some of the Mindo honey and a few other products and a few things that have like the molasses face stuff in it. But if that's what you mean by sugary stuff, I guess.
I would consider that because that would be the thing that I would think. Like if someone asked me, hey, should I use some sugar? Or hey, I'm thinking of using sugar. I would think they're thinking of molasses, just because that's a pretty common thing. People use it as like a microbe food for the finishing and stuff like that. I do use Epsom salt. I use it and gypsum.
Nice.
As a cow mag whenever I need to add extra, or whenever I stop feeding the hydrolysate, I'll switch to just using that as like to continue feeding cow mag for a little bit without all the extra stuff attached to it.
Yeah, I really like using those products, like in flour, especially. Yeah, the molasses and stuff. That's all. I think it does improve your flour for sure. Just being, I've ran enough without it, and then I've been using it again. I've stopped and used it, and tried everything, and I do think it makes a difference, dude. I think, I used to not be that guy into like all the, like say for Canna, for example, the whole line and stuff. And I'll be honest, like some of the products that I run are like bootleg versions of them that I basically just found a close enough equivalent. Because some of the products are super expensive, dude, especially in the Canna stuff. But I do think a lot of these products do have their place. I think my last run, I can speak just based off of weight and the flour itself, the flavors, the smells, that it does make a difference. I don't think I would go back to not using some of these products. I mean, pretty much like I use the PK stuff from Canna, the excuse me, burping, the A and B products, or I guess the Terra and the Vega. I'm using the Terra line right now for a lot of stuff. I do have the cocoa stuff that I use, the A and B. But yeah, as far as sorry, I'm getting off topic, but the molasses based products, yeah, the Mindo honey's great, dude. I like it. It's like $30, or at least it was. Most of the hydro stores carry it. It works great for me. Maybe it's not a good product. I don't know. I don't know a lot about all these products. Some of the stuff I'm just looking at the ingredients. I don't know who owns it or what they do. So like maybe the owners are good or bad people. I don't really know. So if you're that type of person or you care about that shit, that's probably something you need to look into. But as far as like whoever owns it or whatever, I don't know. But yeah, the Mindo honey works. I think doesn't recharge and stuff have molasses in it or something as well.
Yeah, they use it as a micro food. Like I use molasses to bulk up EM1, but I wouldn't count that as using sugar because, really which that is, from my understanding, what people are doing whenever they're using molasses at the end is just
or tea, right?
As a microbe food for what's already in there, so they can like kind of I use like a lot of I use microbes every time I water, whether it's just plain water or whether it's feed water. I'm adding either EM1 or like fish shit, or I'm using some kind of micro product in there. But I guess next run I'll try out using, doing my regular thing, but then also using molasses at the end to see if it, I don't know, has any extra effect. I'm down to try. I use Epsom salt 1000%, just because I use it to make cow mag essentially. That has no nitrogen tied to it.
Yeah, I would get up and show you all the things that I use, but some of the bottles are a little sticky, icky. Like the Mindo honey, it's really nasty. It's older bottles. It's getting toward the end of its life. But yeah, I use the boot. Like most of the product, what you want is the boost, dude. Like so for like Canna, I think their Boost or whatever it's called. I forget the specific name, but it's like anytime you look at any of these product lines, it's going to be like the most expensive thing a lot of the times. I'm actually using BioBiz stuff. I forget what theirs is. I don't think it might be molasses based, but I think it's like beet juice or some shit. I don't really know, but I'll be honest, dude. I fucking really am enjoying that, and it's like half the price of the can of stuff. And maybe it's not like formulated to work great with each other, but I don't know, dude. Like I wish I could share the weights and stuff I got from my last run,
Don't
but
do that. Don't do
yeah,
that.
I'm happy. I'm just happy. I'm happy. How let's just say that. But I'm using the PK or whatever it's called from Canna. I'm also using. I do use. Um, you know, I have a bunch of products actually. I got. I'm starting to think I don't use that much shit, but I got like basalt rock dust. I use depending on, especially like the chems and stuff. Of course, I got a bag of recharge that I use a little bit. I use for the root stimulants the kangaroo. I forget what it's called. I always forget the names of these products, but it's just the Mars. It's either general hydroponics or I think it's general hydroponics product. I replace that for the Canna Razo. I think it is a Razo. I forget the names of all this shit. I had to look at a picture, guys. I'm super visual, so I'm just looking at pictures. But and then I got Power SI. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know what else am I missing here. Yeah, just the base, the Canna. Well, I'm using CalMag, the base, and then yeah, it depends on where I'm going from there. If I'm flowering, I'm using the BioBiz's their bloom because it's cheaper. I mean, and it works great. Um, yeah, and then I got the PK, and yeah, a couple other random products I use here or there. But yeah, that's pretty much all I'm using. And then I use all this stuff in Fox Farm. Unless I'm doing cocoa, I do the can of A and B, or the cocoa A and B, and I just do it in cocoa. But I just got some breaks recently, so maybe I'll do some here soon. But I lost my source of really cheap cocoa. I was getting the what is it, the Cloud Choir? I can't even Cocoa Choir. I can't ever say it right, guys. I say choir. Dan always makes fun of me. He's like, dude, it's not choir. I'm like, oh, this is the way to say it, dog. I'm sorry, but there's some stuff that Bitter recommended me, but they don't have that around here. The only thing I can get like that's even close to like actual cocoa is like the Loco Cocoa, but that's got stuff in it. I'm pretty sure. So I tend to stay away from that, but I do have some can of bricks I just got recently, but they're for something else. So I don't know. They're a different project. You know how it goes. But I don't even remember what started the tangent. I'm sorry, guys. We're off on.
Molasses. Using
Yeah,
if we use molasses.
yeah, dog.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
using little
saying
molasses.
Jinx Proof told him 1 cup of organic raw dry sugar per 30 gallons of water on day 20 and day 40 of flour, and it works great. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, it's you're adding a microbe food, you know,
Well,
and I would definitely pay attention to that, like the dilution. It's not strong, you know, like you don't want to have a super
right.
you don't want to be pouring simple syrup in there.
Well, you're feeding the microbes, I guess, in the soil, right? Well, here's what something's interesting about that is in some of the South American countries, at the sugar cane or in other countries where there's sugar cane plantations, some of the best places to get some of the magic mushrooms are actually at some of these old plantations where they had the big pulp piles left over, right? And those are kind of rotted down a bit, you know. So yeah, I mean, I'd imagine, yeah, it's just sugar, right? It's just the pulp and everything there, and those are some of the best mushrooms or some of the best place to grow these particular mushrooms. So yeah, of course, like I could imagine you could use that in some way. I'm just not an expert in soil science, guys. So, don't take my word for it. But yeah, I mean, for sure, as far as my extent for sugar, if you want to consider molasses, but like that's it really. I don't do raw sugar. I'm sure you could like, why? I
I
mean,
mean, so like
right.
also with the raw sugar, like sugar in the raw or whatever, turbinado, demerara, whatever you want to call it or grade it is, they're brown because they don't have all of the molasses extracted from it, which like it's trying to give a more base nutrition. And as Buck did say, if you are using molasses, use the unsulfured,
Yeah,
so that it doesn't kill the microbes in there.
yeah. I forget these things because we talk about it so much. But yeah, or even like when we're talking about micro sulfur, I was like, some guy is gonna hear this and go spray their shit. Like, make sure when you're looking up
In week 7, he's gonna be in there spraying. Chuck told me
spraying
it's
their.
all right.
Yeah, dude. Just make sure you're looking up the proper processes for some of the stuff we're talking about. If you don't know, just make sure you ask questions or look it up, dude. Jesus Christ. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, comments have scrolled a little bit. I haven't been paying attention. What's up, August? Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Kyle, Buck. Appreciate you guys. Okie, appreciate y'all tuning in. What about maple sap? I'm sure, dude. Anything natural like that.
Just like simple sugar, because
Yeah.
that's what you're doing. Is you're giving a simple sugar that's super easily broken down. So think of it just like when you're fermenting anything. What you're trying to do is give them a simple sugar, so that the microbe colonies that you're trying to like propagate explode. That's essentially the same idea, is that you're trying to feed these microbe colonies with like give them a steroid shot there in the end to like make them liven up and get all fucking, I don't know, juicy. I don't know what you want.
Dude,
I don't know how best
works.
to describe that, but
It works.
You're trying to give them a very simple carb source to quickly expand in numbers and like do their thing, which in your soil and stuff, ideally after that amount of time, you have some microbe colonies in there that are doing their thing.
Yeah, you see it, especially if you get into the realm of what I've been doing lately, is letting things run in like a half gallon or a gallon for 3-4 months, like a mother plant, dude. Like, there'll be some weeks, like I've tested it, where I'll just say, all right, I'm gonna give them straight water this one, right? Especially with the Terra line, because it's not as potent as some of the like the cocoa or some of the other lines out there. It's made to go in with like ocean or pre emitted things.
Soil.
Yeah, so it's not going to burn your shit. And if people are out there worried about burning, I think it's an excellent line to start with, because it's very hard to burn. I mean, but especially if you follow like their charts and stuff like that. But anyways, what was I getting at with this? We were talking about something in particular. My bad. Our brain's not working anymore. We were going to talk about something. What were we talking about, Chad? I forgot. Where am I at?
Using other stuff. Using maple sap as a simple sugar.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure you guys could. I think some people overthink this shit, guys. Like, you could probably do that, but like, you could just go buy a bottle of Mindo honey, or yeah, like maybe you want to get into this stuff, and I'm sure there are like people using these and stuff, and maybe they work for you. Maybe that's something I want to explore. But me personally, I just tend to stick to like what works. Like, I'm sure there's better ways to always do it. Y'all know that. But like for me, just like honestly, what I'm using right now does great. Like, and I know it to be great because you leave a plant in a half-gallon pot for 3-4 months, and the plant is 4 or 5 foot tall. Like, I'm not shitting on nobody, guys, but some of my plants that I've left in these pots for 3-4 months, I see people all be like, oh, my shit's going root bound and stuff. I think a lot of these people just quit feeding them right. There's nothing left in the pots. Like, you can keep them going for a long ass time. There are some plants, older plants in particular, that don't like it, but a lot of these modern cuts, dude, like you can run them in a pot in a little half gallon for. I've done them all for 4 or 5 months at a time, and yeah, they'll be top heavy, falling over, and all this shit. But yeah, you see when you add these like molasses, or you add some of these root juices, whether it's like the high end shit or it's kangaroo, whatever it's called, general hydroponic stuff. Like, it really does rock them out, because I see across the board legacy cuts, modern cuts. I went from having these plants in half-gallon pots for 3-4 months to by the end, I'm pulling them out ready to put them in a bigger pot. Finally, you know how it is, guys. You put them on the shelf forever, and they're just the roots don't look great, a little brown, maybe I've overwatered them, whatever. But I pull them out now across the board, dude. I pull them out, they're booming out the bottom, so much so that the saucer trays are sticking to the bottom of the pots. Like they're white. I took a bunch of. I see guys all the time flexing with their like little root cubes and stuff. I took a bunch of long. I got roots that are like, dude, you pull them out the clone tray and they're literally like a foot long. Just in basic domes and shit. So I don't know, like we're getting into this shit. Really does work. The root boosters and stuff. Used to sit around. I used to be the guy that didn't use the root gels and everything, and it does work and stuff. You can definitely make shit work. I think the plant's strong, dude. It's a weed. It's going to do its thing no matter what. But I will say that out of like, let's just say a lot of cuts, I don't really modern or old. I mean, I've granny teched all the old cuts, easily. Like it's taken 3-4 weeks to do them, but I do. I mean, I think it's just feeding your plants the right shit. And I do think if you are not giving them what they need, they'll show it to you for sure, especially these older ones, I mean, but I see with those older cuts, like, especially with the Kims and the East Coast, they love the basalt rock dust and shit like that, dude. Some of the modern cuts, you can tell when you're doing it, overdoing it with them with some of that shit, but I think some of it, yeah, like some of those older cuts, they need it, especially you're reversing them, maybe, or you're making seed. They'll turn the shit, dude. Honestly, you'll get these pale with those older cuts, East Coast especially. Like, definitely need to feed them or have a nice size pot with them. Not bad. I'm renting guys tonight. I'm these edibles. Speaking of edibles, where the edibles go? I'm with them things, man. Where the hell did they go? I don't know, but my bad. I'm renting.
Yeah, from what I've experienced, having stuff in like a small pot for a really long time has where I have run into issues most hasn't been with feeding or like light or any of that stuff. It's been with the roots, because at a certain point it gets so colonized that it's easy to either drown or fucking like dry them out, like dry it out way too much too
I
quickly.
see that.
And
Yeah.
that has been for me the balancing act has been more that than it has been feeding.
Yeah.
Because like I've done both, like underwatered by like a lot very quickly in like literally overnight type of situation in a solo cup. And I've also had it to where it's like, oh fuck, I watered way too. Like when I pull them out, they've obviously been like drowning for a while.
Yeah.
I've had both ways.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point, Matt. Well, I assume it's Matt. You can keep cuts in the refrigerator in a form of stasis for sure. I've had a cuts in there before like a month and a half, dude. Like legit. Like I think I don't like to rely on that by any means, but you can do that. And half the time I don't have the space for that shit no more because I got so many different little drinks and stuff. But yeah, dude, you can do that. You can harden them off, yeah, for sure in the fridge overnight, guys. If you sometimes some people will hydrate cuts in like solos or whatever you're doing. Maybe you've got the moms in big pots. I personally like to do my cuttings and put them in a solo cup in water. I mean, yeah, it'd be great if I could have the room to put them in a refrigerator, but there's no way I'm gonna get them all in there. So just like doming them up and letting them soak overnight. I do that for every time I take cuttings, and I haven't really, knock on wood, lost a cut in over a year. So it's just the way I like to do it. I wish I could harden them off like that for sure, but yeah, you'd have like that. I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, well, how much would it be to have a walk-in refrigerator? And I was looking into it, and I was like, dude, that's like 30 grand, like 20, 30 grand. Like, as a at-home grower, at-home grower, guys, doing it. As Jordy would say, yeah, you gotta pick your battles and what makes sense, right? Because I know you guys are probably like me, and you're a gearhead, or you like cannabis gear stuff, and you're like, man, that would be great to have that or this. And I don't know, dude. Like, I get lost in the sauce with lights, and I got ADHD, as you could tell, probably. So I get into look at AC Infinity. Like they're not the greatest for everything, but they do rock out for a lot of stuff. I get on their website every time I get on there. They got some new product. I'm like, this is like, where was this like a year ago? And are you just doing this to keep me buying something? Like I bought their AC Infinity, like AC heat unit, and then a year later they bring out the single or the double ducting version of it. I'm like, what are you guys doing to me? You know, like, but yeah, I get into the gear. My bad.
Well, something that I'm probably going to start employing is at the not the last party, but the one before that Pac went to. He was telling me about how like he'll keep when he takes cuts, he'll do some extras and keep snips in the fridge, like as a backup in case those cuts don't root. And like I think I'm going to start employing that just to have like a double safety on it.
Well, what I do is if I take 3 or 4 cuttings, right, I'm down to a point where I know it's risky. Unless it's a legacy cut, I'm doing like 2 cuts because I don't give a fuck if I lose a modern cut. So I'm doing 2 snips, and by the time I go to up pot it, unless I'm like, for example, the Gorilla Glue, Kim D, and a few others, I'm doing mini just so I can do my run and do a whole tent or whatever. Or if I'm doing a whole tent, or if I'm chucking, this depends, like obviously, but if I'm just like doing my run of the mill, just keeping the cut going, I'm just doing 2 snips because I got so many that it's a lot. So I do 2 snips of like the newer shit, and then of like the legacy, I'll do anywhere from 3 to 5, and then I usually will clone up 5 of them, and I'll pick, unless I'm doing something with them, a project, I'll pick like 2 or 3 of the best because I noticed like some of those older cuts, dude. You want to get a few of them going because like if you're just relying on one, it might be that one that just doesn't want to root really great. I noticed that, especially like the D, and even the where you take the cutting on some of those old cuts. Excuse me, I'm burping. Too many cookies. Where you take the cutting on some of that shit, if you take it from the lower, sometimes the way it grows is just funky. Like I don't know. There's so many factors that go into all that shit, but I keep losing my train of thought, guys. It's the weed. It's the Kim dog. That's the thing about it. It makes me very forgetful. And yeah, I mean, I guess I shouldn't shit talk all these things. I'm so spoiled. I smoke all day, and I don't know how I would be if I like woke up and you know didn't smoke, and then at the end of the day I smoke. I'd probably be fucked. I probably wouldn't want to be on this podcast with you right now. That's for sure, dude. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not sorry, guys. I am all over the place. But yeah,
Right.
dude.
What strain are you most excited about?
Honestly, like seeds or cuts or just in general.
That's on you.
Um,
Is what what you're feeling. What are you most excited about?
I
to grow?
guess lately I've been trying to do stuff for the old guys and the new guys, a little bit of legacy and the modern. But I mean, I think for me, I will. To be fair, like to pop these, the Kim Dog P's or whatever, the bitters P91 S1 the times the Kim Dog BX. I'm excited for those. The Super Silver Haze F5s from H&L, more Skink Dog. I'm really excited to run another. I got the 91 going. I'm gonna flip that soon. The 56 I haven't got to try. The original Sin, from Sean's original Sin. I'm gonna get into some popping some seeds eventually that I'm really excited for. Some of Matt's stuff. Um, I want to run some more blueberry stuff. The IX in particular, I really like that. And for the modern guys, and maybe people might make fun of like a Mike Exotic cut, but it's not even really a Mike Exotic cut because it's just a selection, I think, out of his shit. I actually got the cut I think ZP is the guy that found it. Whatever. I got a cut of the red pop that I really like because I don't have access to any of the strawberry stuff. It's like that's one of the few flavors that I don't really have access to. So I did pick that up, and it's kind of like a more artificial flavor. So I am excited about doing a little bit of stuff with that, just like maybe hitting some of the older stuff to that, just to see what like some gas and stuff, or some not gas. I don't know why I said gas, but like some like chems and stuff into that East Coast. And I do like fusing some of the old stuff with some of the modern stuff, just to see what's up. I don't know. I like a little bit of all that, but honestly, GMO stuff. I'm making some crosses with that or whatever, some hybrids, whatever you want to say. Uh, what else am I excited for? I'm trying to think. My bad. Um, I don't know. Like, I mean, I like some of the like more modern stuff, like the gorilla, doing some gorilla glue work, doing some of the Kim Dog reversal stuff. I don't know. I pretty much grow what I like to grow. You know what I mean? So it's hard. I can't really sit here and be like, oh, I'm excited for these one particular things outside of like seeds. Like, I mean, I'm excited to pop some more Skank Dog and hopefully find another cut like that one that I had. That would be real cool. I mean, I haven't really been messing with the auto flowers lately. I did make some. I was really shocked by some autos that I made not too long ago. They smelled like bubble gum and kind of like had that flavor on the smoke a little bit, and they were good. But I mean, they're not, let's be real, guys. Like they're not compared to. They're not going to compare to some of this other shit. So I ended up turning it into butter, and then I made a bunch of cookies. You know, like I put 2 ounces into this batch of cookies. So I'm really shocked on how fucked up I actually am from them. So I don't know. That's like the community service autos or whatever I was messing with. So I really like that. Yeah, man. I don't know. Some of the older stuff that H&L gave me, some of the loose stuff like the Destroyer stuff I like to pop. But yeah, mainly just like that Super Silver Haze, the Kim Dog P. Uh, some of the more modern stuff. There's some packs that I like to pop that I've had for a long time. Mm, I don't know, guys. Some of the CSI stuff, like the TK stuff. I don't. Some people don't like TK. I kind of. I haven't had the cut, so I can't really speak on it. But like the hybrids that Caleb's made, that I really like those. The Loompa headbands, dude. Anything with that in it. I mean, like the OSINs and stuff. Like I mean. It's so hard to zone in on one thing, man. I apologize. I wish I could point you in it's the meme, right? Anything sour, OG typers, Kim Dogs, like anything related to that, GMOs, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. That's kind of where I want to be, Like I said, I'll try other stuff, like I'll try the dirty taxis or whatever, the hypey stuff. For hypey candy gas, I really like the RS11. I know maybe people might not agree with that, but I like the 54 too as well. That was cool. I really like the RS11 actually. For if I was gonna do candy at this point, dude, I would probably run that like candy gas kind of thing. Yeah, I don't know. Everything else is like gelato or something. I ran a bunch of that shit, and it's all like I don't know. I don't. It's cool up in Michigan. I forgot what was it, apple gelato, Scotty Pippins, and uh, what was some of the other ones? I'm trying to think of what they were even called, dude. I don't know at this point, dude. I don't care. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Yeah, just some of those they're cool, but they're also just I don't know. They're just forgettable. A lot of blandness, If you like gelatos and bakery doughy stuff, I guess, or whatever. I don't, I don't know, man. If you like candies, I mean, I ran probably every runs under the sun, dude. I even ran the cartel runs, Buck. I ran them all. Dude. I don't know, man. Runs and stuff. I don't know. I haven't ran Skittles cut, so maybe I don't know what's up, but I do have yeah, I don't know. This stuff's just not really for me. I like some of it. It's cool. Like, it's cool to hit occasionally, and see it, or taste it or whatever. But anymore, I just like filling the tin with the Gorilla Glues or I need to try the Kim 4s. Everybody's been talking about them from Caleb, the S1s and stuff, but I haven't ran those. Gene Theater Act 2 coming soon. I forget what that is. Is that a POG thing? I don't know what that is.
Yeah, that's the Blue Dream reversal.
I'm not a big Blue Dream fan.
He's doing this, dude. I loved those fucking hybrids. Like,
Some of them,
Out of every one, there was one that was like, oh hell yeah.
I think. Go ahead. Sorry.
There was also like real fucking killers in some of them.
Death
like,
Star Blue Dream. That's sorry to cut you off, but Death Star Blue Dream sounds kind of lit, as the kids say. Yeah, but yeah, sorry to cut you off.
Dude, that first iteration made because like, dude, you know, like I was one of the guys who like sold a bunch of not good Blue Dream for like fucking years.
I hate you.
It was like literally all you could get for a while.
I'm the guy that bought it, and so I hate you, dude. I hate Blue. That's why.
Like, so I wasn't fucking jazzed about it, and then I actually saw a good example of the real Blue Dream. It was like, oh shit, this is nice.
Yeah.
And then all the hybrids, it really had like an elevated fucking smoke to most of it, you know.
Well, yeah, I should clarify the cut. Like you might get lost in the sauce on some of those hybrids, dude. Like I would say, yeah, the cut is tight as fuck, right? But I don't know, like I can't really speak on it too much because, like, yeah, I'm coming from popping random seeds of hybrids of it. But yeah, like no, they like let me clarify that dryer sheet. So it was that was tight. I like that. That thing was excellent. It kind of ow, my dog stepped on the foot. But yeah, that was great. Yeah, I made some stuff.
The fucking garbage cloud. I liked the
that one.
The wet dream was really. I was not excited. Like that was one of the things that I got as that like secret tester thing. You know, the mystery ones.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, because like you know, the picture was a crack pipe, so it was pretty obvious of which one I got.
Yeah.
Once I figured that. At first, because I'm stupid, I was like, what the fuck is this? Like a jewel or a battery? What the fuck is this thing? But yeah, once I found out, no, that's a crack pipe, I was like,
She loved the Blue Dream stuff. I like the Betsy's Nightmare. That one was pretty cool. The one I really still need to run and do justice is the Turk Queen. I think that one would probably be great.
The Soul Assassin one was fucking dope.
Yeah.
I love the Garbage Cloud. And
Yeah,
I don't think just because I'm biased, I know that, like, don't get me wrong. I understand my bias coming into saying that. But objectively made fucking crazy killer weed that was weirdly fucking potent. Like, in a way, like, I do think that Shoreline has, like, a decent potency and like a high effects that are in kind of a different direction a little bit, like it's not.
Do you find it harsh? Like sometimes,
smoke?
like the actual smoke, like for me, what does it? What like the thing I just hit me like what it doesn't have for me, like and it just could be the versions I've tried, but it's always like. You know how like some of the OGs and some of the other stuff out there, you'll taste it, and it's like some of the P91 stuff will do it too. I've tried from Cronzo. It leaves like this after thing that's going on, that coating that I really enjoy. When I smoke Shore, I never taste it. And I go like, man, I want more of that. That's where for me Shore fell short.
I definitely think that I don't know. It's almost like the bracts, like the actual fucking like walls of the bracts are thinner or something, like to where like they're still getting like good. I mean, dude, I've gotten where it's like, oh, that's a good sized bud finally, and then you go to break it up and you're like, never mind,
no. You could get nugs. I've gotten nugs off of Shoreline that were every bit of like, I mean, I don't know what to compare it to, but I mean, good sized nugs, but like I said, it literally threw like 5 branches going out from very low on the plant, and it was basically the leaves are so goddamn big, dude. It's basically just giant, like 5 giant nugs by the time it's all said and done. So
the smokability of them is not as it's not if it were something denser,
Right.
like because they're big. but they're not like full. If that
Yeah.
like they look full visually, but like I don't know, like I said, it's almost like the brack just doesn't have as much
I know.
like meat to it as
I know.
others.
I know what you're saying. The when I hit it to the East Coast to that shoreline and those hybrids that I grew out of it, they were the same way. They were kind of thin and weird and just yeah. It was, I know what you're saying about it. Sure.
Yeah.
I,
Well,
I s-
and the smokability really increased in the garbage cloud. Like the most shore ones, like the ones that I kept in. I kind of see them as like almost like a blue shore, like it's partly there.
yeah.
They smoke like shit too, kind of. You know, like I mean, the effects are great and like the smoke is good or whatever, but like it doesn't smoke as good as the one that has more Blue Dream influence in it, because like I think a lot of it is that physical, the way that the flower is, whatever it is, physically just doesn't like fucking want to burn well. You know, like it doesn't smoke. It's not good for smoking. Which is why the thing that I'm most excited about is that Shore by Bonnet, the Sledgeberry, because I
Ooh.
think they'll be like, not only do I really think that Blueberry fits in really well, like is a really killer fucking accent to Shore, like and falls in line with the profile really well. But I think they'll be remarkable improvements in how it grows for me, like all of the other bonnet stuff. Especially if it gets those fucking like Hershey Kiss, those like bubbly fucking bracks. Ooh.
I need to run more on that stuff. I've been meaning to. It's just hard, man. It's been a long year of like moving and
Oh shit. I didn't even think of that.
like trying to keep yourself smoking and stuff. Like it's been hard to pop seeds. So I'm just now at a point where I can grow stuff out, man. People all ask me all the time, "Did you test this out? Did you try this out?" It's like, dude, I'm just one dude. I have no help. I'm by myself. My wife helps me the best she can, but I get to shit when I get to it, and I apologize for being 2 months late. And it's part of it, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, so we went 31 minutes over. Right now we are worried about it saving.
All right.
So do you have anything to say, plug anything like that?
Nah, bruh. Nah, nothing to plug other than go check out the Discord, the Breeder Syndicate Discord, Matt's site. We can't say it, we'll get in trouble, I think. But yeah, that kind of stuff. That support the Discord. Join for $5. That's pretty much it, dude.
Yes. Thank you guys for joining us in this pretty much just me and Chuck chatting for a couple hours.
Yeah.
We will be back to, oh no, not your bad. Shoot. I mean, you just been hanging out, chatting like the camera wasn't even on.
Yeah, I know, pretty much. I forgot it was at times. My bad, chat. I'm sorry.
Just thank you guys. We'll be back to
we could do next week. Just tune in Friday. This coming Friday, if you're free, we can fill in again for Matt if he needs us or whatever.
Yes, we will. We'll be back to regularly scheduled programming on Friday. Check out the links in the bio. It's 2026. Use your brain to find, where to go.
Yeah.
Thank you guys and good night.
Yeah. Good night. Later. Later, brother.
Later.
Want to sit at the table with the Syndicate? Check out our Patreon in our link tree or description below. Our merch site is officially live. We have all sorts of shirts, hoodies, and goodies to sort you out, and shipping is super fast, and most importantly, the quality is top-notch. I've been saving old designs for years for this purpose, so please check it out, syndicategear.com. We also have an underground Syndicate Discord where we get together and solve old strain history together daily. It's an amazing community of learning away from IG, and it's an amazing resource for old catalogs and knowledge. We hope you join our union of breeders and growers. Come check it out.